span of 18 years, we have been recognized as one of India's leading private universities. I take this opportunity to welcome all present for the first edition of Amrita Innovation and Research Awards. Amrita Innovation and Research Awards is our first edition here. And as Indian tradition begins, we shall start this event by invoking the presence of the blessings of the divine.
धवलावगुण्ठनवती तेजोमयी नैष्ठिकी स्निग्धा पङ्गविलोकिनी भगवती मन्दस्मित श्रीमुखी वात्सल्यामृत वर्षिणी सुमधुरं संकीर्तनालापिनी श्यामाङ्गी मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिका ईश्वरी अमृतानन्दात्मिका ईश्वरी अमृतानन्दात्मिका ईश्वरी अमृतानन्दात्मिका ईश्वरी अमृतानन्दात्मिका ईश्वरी.
I now invite Professor Kamal Bijlani, the marketing head for Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, to give us a brief overview of the day ahead.
Om Amriteshwariya Namaha. I take this opportunity to welcome all present for the first edition of AIRA 2021 Amrita Innovation and Research Awards. Yeah, as you can see on the next slide, we have an array of awards that we have created for these events. We have the Chancellor's Research and Excellence Award, the Discovery and Innovation Award, the Chancellor's Innovation Award, Publication Merit Award, and Certificate of Appreciation. These awards represent patents, publications of highest impact, and research grants. Next. This is the agenda for today. We will be sharing next our Publication Excellence Awards, and after the Publication Award talks and the talks for the Discovery Labs are done, then we will be doing the Chancellor's Research Excellence Awards, and finally we will have an interaction with Chancellor Amma. Next. We are very, very pleased that, by Amma's grace, we have gotten, huge VIPs for this event. The CEO of Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant, from Government of India, which is the Planning Commission of India, and the Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan, who is the Director of National Science Foundation, which gives the biggest grants in the world, will be here today. And so this is a very, very unique opportunity for us. And some of our guests have logged in, and I'm very pleased to also welcome Dr. Venu Govindaraju-ji. Namaskar, Dr. Venuji. Dr. Shubhashish Chaudhary, Director of IIT Bombay. Professor Mahapatra, who has logged in the middle of the night from California. Sir, thank you so much for coming up in the middle of the night. Next. So we have our guests of honor, as I just presented, Dr. Venu Govindaraju, Vice President for Research, and Dr. Shubhashish Chaudhary, Director of IIT Bombay. Next. We have with us Dr. Mahapatra from California and Dr. Suresh Subramani. Next. And we will also be having Dr. Mahadevan Pillai from Vice Chancellor, Government of Kerala. So with this, we IRA 2021, the tradition of awarding our research and making it big starts here today in Amma's presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the introduction and a warm welcome to everybody today for Amrita's IRA Awards. Pranams to Amma. We would like to start the event with the Chancellor's Publication Excellence Awards. Amrita has a fantastically talented faculty, and under the guidance of Amma's guidance and also the research excellence across the university, we have a network of researchers, educators, and students who have published a variety of papers in one of the most premium publications in the world. Let us start the event, and we have all of them participating virtually today, as you can see them on the screen. We have our teams from the School of Engineering, Coimbatore, participating. We have over 140 publications across the university in the last year itself. We have School of Engineering, Amritapuri, School of Medicine in Kochi, School of Medicine, Kochi again. We have many researchers from our medical campus in Kochi. School of Dentistry in Kochi. So a warm welcome to everybody and many congratulations. Amma specifically wanted to make sure that she could see all of you. And if she had the chance, she would have personally met and congratulated all of you. So hope you're able to see, to be in her divine presence virtually today and continue along this path. Now, we would like to talk about our patents. Amrita has over the last year developed many patents across the university. Patents are a testament of the innovative academic rigor an institute fosters, and we at Amrita believe in nurturing talent and ensuring that it receives the due recognition it deserves. Ladies and gentlemen, now on screen is the Chancellor's Innovation Awards for the various international and national patents awarded to Amrita in the field of biotechnology, nanosciences, engineering, and medicine. We have over 49 patents awarded in the last 5 years, 38 of which are international patents and 11 national patents. The patent awardees 108, what a wonderfully auspicious number across Amrita. And we have our national patent awardees 37 in number.
We'd now like to showcase across Amrita's 5 campuses of Amritapuri, Kochi, Chennai, Mysuru, and Bangalore, of what significant strides we've made in research and innovation and have received international recognition for the same. I request Dr. Shashangan Ramanathan, the Dean of the School of Engineering, to give us a glimpse into the same.
Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. My humble pranams to our Chancellor, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, and a very warm welcome to all the distinguished guests, alumni, my dear colleagues and students. Firstly, hearty congratulations to all the recipients of awards today. Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore campus.
Sorry, Dr. Shashangan, while you were talking, I just wanted to take a quick second, and we missed welcoming Professor Kirsten Koch, who's a professor at the Institute of Human Genetics, University Medical Center in Hamburg, Germany. And a very warm welcome to you, ma'am. My apologies, Dr. Shashangan, please continue.
Okay, thank you. So if you look at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore campus, it carries a very vibrant research culture. The research work is centered around 40 broad thematic areas covering all disciplines of science and engineering, as depicted in the slide. Centers indicated on your left are all interdisciplinary, and the ones on the blue are more focused towards engineering disciplines and departments. Given the paucity of time, I will highlight the accomplishments of 4 other centers that are listed to your left. Next slide, please. If one were to look around, material science is everywhere. So let me start with the noteworthy accomplishments of the Center of Excellence in Advanced Materials and Green Technologies. Prime examples of innovation from this center would be: 1, a breakthrough in hydrogen storage technology that is shown to your left, and development of novel microchannel heat exchanger that is shown to your right. One of the potential candidates to replace the current lithium-ion batteries is hydrogen-based fuel cells. The center has found a breakthrough in this storage technology by developing novel alloy materials that offer 6-fold higher storage capacity at much lower cost and reduced footprint. Our partner, Australian Mines, is planning to scale up this technology. The microchannel heat exchanger shown to your right is a novel and patented concept that has shown excellent promises of improving heat removal by more than 10 folds compared to the existing commercial heat exchangers. This is a game-changing concept, and we expect widespread adoption of this technology in many applications. Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, an Indian company, and Lam Research, a US-based company, are our largest partners in testing and scaling up of this innovative heat exchanger. Next slide, please. State-of-the-art biosensor and biomedical engineering labs were established to offer and develop low-cost biomedical devices and sensors. Several devices and sensors, such as low-cost insulin pump, microvalves for automated immunoassay, enzyme-free glucose sensor strips, paper strips for liver function test, portable anemia meter, and lab on a chip for multi-parameter monitoring have already been developed. Now, these sensors and devices will prove to be very useful, especially in rural India, in the early detection of widespread health issues such as diabetes, cholesterol, anemia, and abnormal liver and kidney functioning. Next slide, please. The Center for Computational Engineering and Networking is a very highly interdisciplinary center focused on research work on natural language processing, data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, bioinformatics, image and signal processing techniques. Noteworthy point is that a recently published paper by Dr. Gopalakrishnan, you can see the news clip, got the attention of number 10 Downing Street. The British Parliament, on the recommendation of PM Boris Johnson's chief advisor, referred to this model and wanted to use it to predict post-Brexit socio-political landscape. I'm also extremely very proud that this center is headed by Professor KP Soman, who was listed in top 275 most prolific authors in the world by Nature publication. Next slide, please. Now, global adoption of digital technology and platforms has steadily increased. And if there is anything, any positive silver lining to this COVID-19, it has accelerated the adoption of digital technology. We have all become extremely information and data centric. Now, Amrita Center for Excellence in Cybersecurity does pioneering research work in the areas of cryptanalysis, forensic security, secure watermarking, hardware security, and many more. Our partners, as you can see from the slide, are predominantly government agencies, and Amrita is very proud to state that we have and we will continue to serve the needs of our partners, who are the Indian Navy, Indian Air Force, law enforcement agencies, DRDOs, ISROs, and several national security agencies. Trust me, The Center for Cybersecurity is working quietly to protect the security of our nation from cyber threats. If I were to summarize the first slide, our core strength lies in interdisciplinary research. We work closely with government, industry, and international partners to develop innovative solutions that benefit society. And that's truly the Amrita culture of research. Thank you very much. Om Amriteshwarye Namaha.
Thank you, Dr. Shashangan. We now have with us from our Kochi campus, Dr. Colonel Vishal Marfa, Principal, School of Medicine, Kochi, and the Head of Department of Rheumatology. So please.
Good afternoon to everyone. Humble pranams at the lotus feet of dear Amma. Warm welcome to all the distinguished guests. I will highlight the achievements of our faculty in the Amrita School of Medicine. Our 3D printing lab under Dr. Mahesh K is a major innovation which started in 2016. It has evolved and now we have India's first in-hospital virtual reality studio. It helps in better planning of surgery and improves patient outcomes in multiple disciplines in medicine. Next slide, please. Amachi Labs, along with AIIMS, have developed a low-cost powered air purifying respirator for frontline medical workers for COVID-19 pandemic. It is a very useful and affordable innovation. Dr. Bhavani Rao, Dr. Mahesh K, and Dr. Sandeep V are the key faculty who have developed this innovation. Next slide, please. In gastroenterology, our team could prevent bacterial contamination of duodenoscopy using a disposable elevator tip. Changing clinical spectrum of benign biliary strictures was evaluated in detail and it can impact future practice. Dr. Harshvardhan Rao and Dr. Priya Nair are the principal workers in the above efforts. Next slide, please. Dr. Sheila Nambutri and team have done remarkable and path-breaking collaborative work in pediatric genetics. She even has a syndrome called Nambutri syndrome named after her. Her work has been published in the Nature journal. Dr. V. Anil Kumar from the Department of Microbiology has done excellent work with other collaborators in developing global guidelines for management of rare mold infections. Next slide, please. Dr. Gopal S. Pillai is the principal investigator in a BIRAC project of the Department of Biotechnology. This aims at establishing clinical trial networks for hospital-based trials in ophthalmology. It includes 6 centers in India, including ours. Dr. Deepu TS has been awarded another project by BIRAC DBT. This will enhance the capacity by conducting human clinical trials for COVID-19 vaccine candidates, and it will cover 5 centers in Kerala. Next slide, please. Dr. Subramanya Iyer and team developed a predictive nomogram for oral tongue cancer. It is acclaimed internationally. Dr. Krishna Kumar T validated an assessment tool for speech analysis in oral cancer patients. Both these will improve patient care in oral cancer patients in India and the world. Our head and neck surgery department is considered one of the finest in the country. Next slide, please. Dr. Hisham Ahmed and team from cardiology have reported a rare form of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy where they have identified a mutation in a non-sarcomeric protein. It is the first of its kind of study in India. This article too appeared in the Nature journal. This will impact patients of the disease. Early recognition by genetic testing and proper therapy will lead to reduction in mortality in these patients. Dr. Bailu Vaidyanathan has done innovative work in 3D and 4D imaging in fetal echocardiography. This spatiotemporal image correlation, STIC, has benefit over 2D fetal echo and provides survival advantage. Next slide, please. Other significant contributions have occurred in the field of orthopedics, cardiovascular and thoracic surgery, hematology, endocrinology, and public health. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vishal. I'd like to also mention that Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences has been offering cost-effective treatment to citizens across the globe and sees patients from across the globe and is known for its multi-speciality clinics and for its treatments that it has been meting out free of cost for a lot of patients who cannot afford to avail such treatment and services. We now have with us Dr. Bala Krishnan Shankar, Dean and Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. He is also the Associate Dean of the School of Engineering at Amritapuri.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Pranams at Amma's holy feet. Extremely delighted to be here on behalf of all my faculty at the School of Engineering at Amritapuri. At Amritapuri, the School of Engineering, all our faculty buy into Amrita's chief main important selling point, that is compassion-driven research. And we have on the screen several examples of products that have come out because of this compassion-driven research. We have in front of us a gesture-based wheelchair, which navigates patients through hospitals and areas by just simple movement of their fingers. This is to replace the traditional joystick, which paraplegic patients may not be able to manipulate. Next, we have a coconut tree climbing robot to help farmers harvest coconuts. In Kerala, there is a paucity of coconut harvesters nowadays, and this robot is a cost-effective solution for that. On another photo there, we also see the rural electrification project that's carried on by smart energy and smart cities as part of the Center of the Wireless Networks project. And we have an actual project that was carried on in the Komalikudi village in North Kerala. We have the Ocean Net project done by the Amrita Center for Wireless Networks, which is a world-renowned center of excellence in landslide detection. We have a wireless system by which the fishermen at sea are connected with each other, and if somebody is in distress, they can contact their family or other ships. We also have another example of compassion-driven research being a prosthetic arm for amputees. When people, this can substitute for a human arm, and based on myoelectric sensors and a myoelectric human arm. Next slide, please. We have 4 centers of excellence. I've already mentioned the WNA, the Wireless Network Center of Excellence. We also have the Amachi Labs, which gives vocational training using haptic technology to thousands of women. They've empowered thousands of women in vocational training in multiple skills like carpentry and plumbing, and also are now teaching employees from Larsen and Toubro on machining skills. We also have a center of excellence called CREATE, which makes educational technology. You have there is outstanding example which resulted in a tier 1 publication with getting the Barbara Bush Award for the leading learning app for English in the US. We have the Center for Cybersecurity that does several nationwide critical projects in like malware detection, formal methods, security, and defense projects. Next slide, please. Very proud of this Humanitarian Technologies Lab, primarily run by, driven by undergrad students, with several products that have come out of it. That is like a floor cleaning robot, the gesture-based wheelchair that I already talked about, a hand orthotic device, a security device for women. And next slide, please. And we have a series of products that fights COVID. We have 4 robots here. One is Annapurna that navigates, that delivers food to patients in hospitals. The other one is a robot called Prabha that sanitizes an area with ultraviolet light. We also have a self-driven wheelchair that helps patients navigate through areas in hospitals and isolation wards. So we're continuing the work here against COVID. Next slide, please. In the Department of Mechanical Engineering, we have several thrust areas in robotics, bionics, fluid mechanics, prosthetic arms, unarmed, humanoid robots, and humanoid robots, and unmanned aerial vehicles. I forgot to mention that the Hut Labs also came up with the IEEE International Best Teaching Award for its director, Dr. Rajesh Kannan. Next slide, please. This is an example of international top publication resulting from our students, the set of undergrad students who went abroad for their BTech project and ended up in top Nature publications and went on for their PhD. We are very proud of this. This is a Nature publication, Nature Electronics, impact factor 12.97, with 3 undergrad students who went abroad, 2 of them from Amritapuri and 1 from the Bangalore campus. Next slide, please. And this is in electrical and electronics engineering with products in smart energy, hybrid energy storage system. Then the power savings, power wastage savings and transformers and control and instrumentation. We have the unmanned aerial drone there. And we recently got a Kerala State Award for coming up with a drone that monitors forest fires, etc. So several products that are serving humanity based on Amma's legendary leadership of compassion-based research. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bala, for aptly capturing the essence of Amma's research ideology. Moving ahead, from our management school, I'd like to Management School of Business.
Namashivaya. Om Amriteshwaraya Namaha. The Faculty of Management had an excellent research performance in 2020. We had a significant increase in the number of papers compared to previous years. We also had significant increase in the quality of publications. Next slide, please. We got 4 A-star papers accepted according to the ABDC classification. We follow the Australian Business Deans Council classification in India, like most business schools. We also had 9 A-rated papers and 15 B-rated papers accepted. Our performance will compare favorably with that of several IIMs and leading private business schools in the country. Next slide, please. These are some of the A-star papers that we had in research policy, in International Journal of Research and Marketing. Both these are elite journals. The New European Journal of Marketing, another A-star journal. Next slide, please. European Journal of Marketing, International Journal of Retail and Distribution Management, A-rated journal again. Next slide, please. International Journal of Tourism Research, Australian Journal of Information Systems, Journal of Services Marketing, all A-rated publications. Next slide, please. Again, continuing production planning and control, Journal of Marketing Management, Applied Economics, Journal of Knowledge Management, all ABDC A-rated publications. We also have our faculty members presenting in leading conferences such as Academy of Management, Society for Marketing Advances, Euromed 2020, INDAM 2020, and AIMS International Conference on Management 2020. Another highlight of the last year was our successful progression of our ongoing projects, Fish for Food projects funded by Social Science and Humanities Research Council in Canada, as well as the ICSSR funded project in collaboration with IIT Tirupati on agricultural interventions. Next slide, please. Our faculty also received some awards in the last year. We got the best research paper in the 4th International Conference on Marketing Technology and Society at IIM Kozhikode. Professor Vinita and Dr. Shyam got this award. 2 of our researchers, Dr. Shantanu Mandal and Dr. Raji Kumar, got the Literati Highly Commended Award 2020 for citation excellence. One of our faculty members also got the MITAX Global Research Award. Next slide, please. To sum up, we had fantastic performance last year. We have a highly motivated faculty. The new recruits that we are planning is expected to bring in some fresh energy, and the future looks bright for us with Amma's grace. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kishore.
We have a couple of our guests of honor who unfortunately have to leave because they had other scheduled conflicts. But we would love to have them just share their thoughts a little bit and also get some interaction with our Chancellor Amma. So let me just welcome 2 of our guests of honor, Dr. Suresh Subramani and Professor Subhashish Chaudhary. Dr. Subramani is the Global Director of the Tata Institute for Genetics and Society, former Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and a Distinguished Professor of Molecular Biology at the University of California, San Diego. Welcome to you, sir. We also have Professor Subhashish Chaudhary, who is the director of the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai. Professor Chaudhary is a recipient of the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize for Excellence in Research. He is known for his work in varied fields such as computational haptics, machine learning, computer vision, and image processing, all under artificial intelligence. A warm welcome to all of you. And I know that your time is very short with us. So I would like both of you to share a few words of wisdom with us. And then we can have Amma also share her wisdom with all of you as well. So Dr. Subramani, would you like to go first, please? Over to you,
Yes,
Dr. Subramani.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Yes, thank you. Well, Namah Shivaya and my namaskarams to Amma and all of the faculty and all the people who are there attending this. This, in my experience, is one of the most important events for the celebration of the campus accomplishments. So I'm glad that you're taking the time in the midst of otherwise depressing news about COVID to celebrate what you all have achieved despite some of the challenges. And it's an inspiration to all of your students to see that despite the difficult year that we've had in the past, that you've been able to make these accomplishments. So I want to applaud your success, congratulate all of the people who've been involved. And of course, the faculty only excel would not be able to excel without the help of the students and the other staff. So I want to extend a word of thanks to all of them. So with that, I wish you great success, and I hope that you will continue to excel in everything that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Subramani, for your kind words. Over to you, Professor Subhashish Chaudhary, our very own director of IIT Mumbai.
Thank you. Namah Shivaya, my pranam to Amma. Thank you. It's a great honor to be here on this very special occasion where we are celebrating the great work by the faculty members and the students and various researchers at the various Amrita-related institutions. This is truly quite inspirational because it's not only the faculty members in the institution there, but it's also people like us who are far away, and we are now not having the benefit of Amma's guidance at this crucial time, being away. It's a great thing that the faculty, the students are engaged in this trying time with this high quality research, which is coming out at various the good places in the good venues, what we call it. And at the same time, seeing some of the applications being done for the benefit of the people. It's, to me, I believe that when we are there in the research, it is always meant for a research that makes the life a little bit of different for all our people. In India, we have particularly this institution is now in an area which is very much in an area where it needs development and others for the local people, and that is required for the rest of India also. I'm very happy and thankful that what this institution is doing for not only for the preparation of the students for the next set of challenges that they would face when they grow up, but also to the people in the neighborhood who would benefit from all such research. Thank you, Amma, and I think it's wonderful that all these people are getting your guidance from you.
Thank you so much, Professor Chaudhary. I know both of our institutions are very well aligned.
നമുക്ക് പ്രത്യേകിച്ചൊന്നും പറയാനില്ല. മക്കൾ ഈ രാത്രി സമയത്ത് ഉറക്കം കഴിച്ച് ഈ കാര്യത്തിന് വന്നിരുന്നതിന് തന്നെ മക്കളുടെ ഇഷ്ടം കൊണ്ടാണല്ലോ, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടാണല്ലോ അതിനമ്മ നമിക്കുന്നു. പിന്നെ മക്കളുടെ ഈ പ്രയത്നവും മക്കളുടെ ആത്മാർത്ഥമായ പ്രയത്നം നമ്മുടെ സമൂഹത്തിന് താഴെത്തട്ടിലുള്ളവർക്ക് പ്രചോദനം നൽകുന്ന പലതരം പദ്ധതികൾക്ക് വഴിയൊരുക്കി. ആ ആനന്ദത്തിന് പ്രതീകമാണിത്. മക്കളുടെ എല്ലാം അകമഴിഞ്ഞ് പ്രയത്നത്തിന് മുന്നിൽ ആദരപൂർവ്വം ശിരസ്സ് വഹിക്കുന്നു. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങളെപ്പോലുള്ള മക്കളെ ഇവർക്ക് ഉപേക്ഷിച്ച് വന്ന ഇക്കാര്യത്തിൽ പ്രചോദനം നൽകാൻ ഇരുന്നതിനും അമ്മ നമിക്കുന്നു നമിച്ചു.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Amma doesn't want to say too much. She really appreciates your dedication or your commitment to attend this webinar, even at the odd time, especially for those from US. It's not a good time, but you have taken special interest to be part of this. Amma is really happy about that. She really appreciates that. And Amma was also mentioning that the effort, the sincere effort and dedication of people like you and those involved can really help the people at the lower strata of the society to come up. So Amma was really, really happy. So Amma has no words to express all your effort and dedication. Amma prays that you get more and more inspiration and strength to continue with your effort.
As you can all see, Amma is truly, truly our inspiration and guiding light, and really the force behind Amrita University. Dr. Subramani, Professor Chaudhary, we are so grateful that you could join us. I know even though you had a very tight schedule, but we are very, very honored and very happy that you could join us and share your words of wisdom and also hear from Amma. While we were waiting, we had a few other guests of honor joining us. I would like to warmly welcome Dr. Nava Subramaniam, the Deputy Dean, Research and Innovation from RMIT, Deakin University, Dr. Sidney Strauss, Emeritus Full Professor of Educational Psychology at Tel Aviv University, Dr. Jefferson Perry, Assistant Professor of Biochemistry at the University of California, Riverside, and also Professor Dr. Madhavan Pillai, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kerala. A warm welcome to all of you in the program. Now we would like to continue the proceedings. Dr. Sriram Devanathan from our campus in Bangalore, over to you, sir.
Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Amma. I am very pleased to present a very brief sample of research innovations in Amrita School of Engineering, Bengaluru. As shown in the slide, research in each department is organized into thrust area groups, and these are aligned with the compassion-driven research theme that was talked about earlier. I wish to draw attention to just 3 specific examples of innovative output from these groups. The first is work in the area of quantum cryptography, in which a novel technique was developed to provide robustness of security protocols against threats from quantum computers. The second involves the development and fine-tuning of a nanofluid that promotes more effective heat dissipation in the context of a nuclear reactor's cooling cycles and other applications of industrial heat transfer. The last example is that of a parallel processing technique for image analysis to detect oral cancer using biopsy specimen, which resulted in 13 times faster processing speed compared to conventional methods. These are just a few examples. As a final point, I would like to add that the innovations in the school have been recognized by the industry and international partners, leading to very useful collaborations, fostering continued excellence in applied R&D. Thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, Dr. Sriram, for sharing your vision from Bangalore campus. I also want to take a minute to also welcome Dr. Venu Govindaraju, VP of Research and Economic Development and SUNY's Distinguished Professor from SUNY Buffalo in New York. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Joining us next is Dr. Shankar, Principal of the School of Engineering, Chennai.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Amma, our Chancellor. I'm happy to bring to you the research highlights from the School of Engineering, Chennai campus. Can I have the next slide, please? The research activities at our campus encompass a broad spectrum ranging from artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, manufacturing technologies, nanotechnology, nanomaterials, mathematical modeling, and so on. I'd like to particularly highlight the contributions in the design and development of underwater vehicles in collaboration with IIT Madras. Our faculty is there now in the process of furthering this design and development towards maneuvering vehicles at 100 meters depth. Can I have the next slide, please? I'd also like to highlight the very commendable development in the development of carbon aerogels and silica aerogels and their composite materials for several energy and strategic applications. These materials have come as a wonderful import substitute material for application in ISRO, DRDO, and petrochemical industries. The ultra supercapacitor materials made of carbon aerogels has similar properties to the materials currently imported by ISRO from US. The high EMI shielding materials again will have wonderful contributions for the DRDO and has properties very similar to the current import materials. The oil absorption capability of the silica aerogels is at least 1.5 to 2 times better than the commercially available products currently available, and all this will go to strengthen the import substitution through indigenous technology. I'd like to also emphasize that we have a couple of very strong collaborations with international partners in the field of multi-agent systems for weather forecasting with Oakland University and Newcastle University, Singapore for development of AI-based converters for renewable energy systems. We also forged a strong collaboration with Intel, and several products are in a very advanced stage. For example, in the development of biocompatible plastics in road, plastic to road, and water purification systems, which can be taken for the deployment to the benefit of community. Thank you. Om Amriteshwari Namaha.
Hearty congratulations for those cross institute and industry collaborations, Dr. Shankar. We now have with us Dr. G. Ravindranath, Principal, School of Arts and Sciences, Mysuru.
My humble pranams to Amma and pranams to all. Amrita School of Arts and Sciences, Mysuru campus, has to its credit 416 Scopus papers with around 43% international collaboration. School research inclination is towards solving societal problems, mainly in the area of image analysis, deep learning, network security, and bioinorganic chemistry. Dr. Shobha Rani and team have been working in providing automated solutions for wrist radiograph image analysis using deep learning networks to be deployed in the field of medicine and crime detection, which is also most viewed article. Also, the team worked on enhancement of degraded document images through multi-level thresholding technique. Findings of Dr. Somanath Sinha and team threw light on neurofuzzy-based intrusion detection system. Department of Sciences, established in 2018, has to its credit 23 journal, 7 books, and 4 book chapter publications with focus on green synthesis of nanomaterials and development of novel chemosensors for detection of toxic metal ions. Also, the team involved in developing biologically potent, cost-effective nanomaterials as anti-cancer agents. Clinical trials are underway. The school congratulates all the recipients of the Research and Innovation Awards. Also, we take pride in congratulating Dr. Vinay Kumar R, alumni, for being honored with Chancellor's Research Excellence Award. Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindranath. We now have with us Dr. U. Krishna Kumar, Dean, Faculty of Arts and Media and Commerce, Director, School of Arts and Sciences, Kochi.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Amen. Namashivaya. I have only 2 slides, which will bring only the main highlights of the research what is going on here. We have 27 faculty with PhD. 5 of the PhDs have been granted from here, and 1 postdoctoral fellowship is going on. Scopus publications has gone up from 14 in 2016 to 187 presently. Total paper count is 584, citations 139. The top impact factor has been 3.12. And the number of PhD scholars in 2014 has been only 9. Now the number of PhD scholars number 104, which is a drastic increase in the number of PhD scholars. And we had one funded project which has been finished, which is highly interdisciplinary project funded by the DST, and it is on autism spectrum disorder. It was collaborated with the AIMS Pediatric Neurology Department. Dr. Vinayan, Associate Professor, helped us quite a lot. I was the principal investigator of the project. 2 research fellowships, and 1 scholar was awarded PhD from this work. Next slide, please. Some of the most significant achievements in the international scenario has been 4 of our faculty have had all these achievements. Dr. Sonia Vijayan was invited to China for presenting in a World Maritime Conference. Dr. Chitra of the Department of Mathematics was invited to Brazil. Dr. Danya Shajan was invited to Jerusalem. All these conferences were fully funded. The travel grants, everything were funded by the organizers. And this is a very coveted achievement. Recently, Dr. Senthil Kumar has signed an MOU with an international collaboration with the University of Riyadh, and he has produced 2 T1 papers. Then the books publication, Dr. M.G. Priya published a book on mysticism, comparing the work of life of Kabir Das and Rabindranath Tagore. Dr. Srinath Muralidharan published a book. The students' achievements are the Pradhichaya, the best campus film, won the International Film Festival Award. Another researcher doing profound research in temple mural arts did a lot of research and painted an Ardhanarishwara, which is the biggest Ardhanarishwara painting in the world, and it has been recently brought into the Asia Book of Records and India Book of Records. The present awardees are Dr. Archana Nair, head of the Department of Mathematics, Dr. E.R. Vimana, the Department of Computer Science and IT, Dr. A.S. Sambali, and Dr. Vidya Vinaychandran from the Department of Commerce and Management. They are the present awardees. I congratulate them, and I seek Amma's blessings.
We now call Dr. Bipin Nair, Dean, School of Biotechnology, Amritapuri, and Dean, Faculty of Sciences.
Namaskar. My pranams to Amma. It's my pleasure to share some of the highlights of the research work at the Faculty of Science. The flagship project funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation along with the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, having us look at biocontrol of infection and smell in sewage, which brought us the Reinvent the Toilet Sanitation Grand Challenge India Award. And that has been successfully implemented and gone into the 2nd phase of funding from the Gates Foundation in collaboration with Columbia University, New York, and the University of Durban, South Africa, where we will be looking at a meta-omics survey of the sewage microbiome. This project, with 14 international publications, 3 filed patents, 7 international awards, 26 NCBI submissions, and a patent pending vertical garden concept for wastewater treatment, has been very successfully taken us on the way. Next slide, please. We're also very happy about the work that we have done with the Tata Trust funding, and what we have been able to do in collaboration with the University of California, San Diego, is look at novel approaches to combating AMR, the antimicrobial resistance problem, and that has also been successfully implemented. Next slide, please. Over the past year, we have been looking at strategies to combat the SARS-CoV infection, and in collaboration with our biosensor group at Coimbatore, we have been able to successfully try and bring about detection of the SARS-CoV virus using microfluidics or paper detection techniques. Next slide, please. We've also been trying to implement looking for the SARS virus in sewage, and that may be something that we would implement in collaboration with the University of Arizona in the US, as well as with Florida International University. We're also very excited about the recently completed phase 2 clinical trial looking at repurposing of nitric oxide as a therapeutic measure for SARS-CoV patients. And that has been completed in collaboration with our Amrita Hospital in Cochin. And next slide, please. So with about 25 crores of research funding, about 50 funded projects, and about 350 publications that have come about, the Faculty of Science has been doing extremely well in implementing research at the university. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Vipin. Let me also warmly welcome, we have a couple of other guests who have joined us. We have Dr. Bharat Jairam, who is the Distinguished Professor and CSE Department Chair at the University of Buffalo. Warm welcome to you, Bharatji. Thank you for joining. And we have Dr. Eric Blanco, the Director General for Education and Research at the National Military School for Air and Space from France, joining us as well. Dr. Eric Blanco. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to be here at this function. I can say a few words at my first arrival in Amrita was in 2010. I was a young professor, and I can notice every year when I came back to India, the progress and the transformation that has been done at the research level and at the teaching level. And I'm always impressed of the change that can happen in 1 year when I come back. So it was a very good experience for me to be here and to be able to work with my colleagues. And I hope that the collaboration that I set up with Grenoble University can survive to my change of institution, because the colleagues are now working together for the research purpose and also for teaching, as we have an adjunct professor in Grenoble, which comes from Amrita University. And the visit of our vice president was also an opportunity to foster the links between our institutions. So really, I'm pleased to be with you today and to share my really, I would say, how can I say? It's I'm really impressed of the progress that has been done by Amrita at the research level and the innovation level. I have also the opportunity to teach innovation to students in Amrita, and I can see their dynamic, their enthusiasm, their curiosity, and I guess there is a lot of possibility of innovation based on students' projects. And I know that you are using them in your research project also. And it's very impressive to see that evolution of the different figures that our colleagues show us just before, with the progress of the faculties on the research and the publication. They are now very actor in the system of research, international system of research. So very congratulations to Hama and his team, her team, for all this work that has been done.
Thank you, Dr. Eric. Thank you for those kind words and your collaboration with us and acknowledging Amrita's year-on-year growth. Now, we move to our new Discovery and Innovation Labs, and we're very proud to announce our Chancellor Amma has always stressed the importance of world-class research for societal benefit. For Amrita to scale new horizons in cutting-edge research, Amrita's senior management has committed over 480 crores towards this. To give us further insight into this, I call Dr. Shanti Kumar Nair, Dean of Research of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham.
Thank you very much. You've heard some of our wonderful accomplishments of our university that we are all very proud of and excited about. On behalf of the university, I'm now proud to present our visionary innovation and discovery labs of the future. I'm happy to say that we are investing 80 to 100 crores to develop a series of innovation discovery labs across all of the campuses with investments in state-of-the-art equipment and labs at all of our campuses. We are so excited about this, and we are looking forward to developing into the future with these facilities. These labs are based on strategic thinking in several new interdisciplinary areas shown there, where we have acquired strength and for which we have been recognized as an institution of eminence. The complete list of interdisciplinary areas are listed on this slide, and I will only talk about a few of these: nano biomedicine, biotechnology, and smart manufacturing and hardware systems. The rest will be addressed by my colleagues, Dr. Manisha, Dr. Vasudevan, and Dr. Shyam Divakar. These circular interlocking pieces show how different areas come together in an interdisciplinary fashion. For example, on the right side, there's medicine, nanoscience, and biotechnology. So these interdisciplinary areas, we hope to be having a joint partnership so that we can benefit from different disciplines coming together. Next slide. Next. One more. So I'll start with life sciences, which is the main effort of the School of Biotechnology and at the Mind Brain Center in our Amritapuri campus, which Dr. Shyam Divakar will talk about. We seek to obtain lead molecules from natural products, expedite sewage treatment through microbiome analysis, and understand how to deal with microbe resistance through a series of microbial active genetics lab. The basic and novel thrust in these labs is to use engineered bacteriophages to tackle microbial resistance and remediation. Some of the other applications include wound dressings, anti-diabetes and anti-cancer, cardioprotection, and also sericulture. A strong new thrust area, which we will be augmenting and substantially enhancing, is medical nanotechnology. And these labs established in Kochi campus will be augmented for translational medicine, that is taking medicine from the lab to the clinic. A special feature is the establishment of a good manufacturing practice clean room labs that will help translate the lab innovated nanomedicines and implants to the clinic through a regulatory process. This is a unique state-of-the-art facility that is a first in an Indian academic institutional setting for nano products. Some of the products that we plan to bring to the clinic, include a nanomedicine for liver cancer. And this is a collaboration between our oncology department and nanosciences, a biliary stent for helping with biliary cancer. And this is a collaboration between our gastroenterology department and nanosciences. And a bone replacement implant, which is a collaboration between our dental college, medical college head and neck department, and nanosciences that will help with large defect bones, which can be used as a material that will fully regenerate the bone. This has been funded, this has been patented and supported by the government of India, includes industrial participation. And what is also interesting is we have new startups that have been formed by our faculty, which has generated entrepreneurial interest to create contributions to the society. Though not on this slide, I would like to mention a plan to set up a nanotechnology integrated agricultural lab at our agricultural campus in Tamil Nadu. The next slide The next slide, next area is smart materials and manufacturing in Kochi, Ettimadai, Bangalore, and Amritapuri campuses, where we'll be setting up advanced manufacturing labs, including manufacturing of nanotextiles, flexible wireless devices and sensors, advanced interlock materials, which are very unique materials, which will have high strength, but also high flexibility, an aerospace unmanned aerial vehicles lab, and an automobile engineering research lab funded by the Indian automobile industry. One area also is the scale up of nanostructured high power batteries. We have achieved some of the highest power in lithium ion and sodium ion batteries, which we would like to scale up to an industrial level for automobiles, for small vehicles, and so on. And these have been lab proven, and we seek to scale it up for societal translation. Finally, I close my section with an introduction to a new lab. Next slide. Can you go to the next slide? This one. I close my section next with an introduction to a new lab for interdisciplinary studies and enhancement of skill intelligence. This is a composite of 4 separate labs: the extended reality and haptics labs, skill analytic framework lab, skill capture lab, neurocognition, and DNA of teaching. In the past, this effort has contributed tremendously to training and employment of women and has been internationally recognized, with Dr. Bhavani being awarded a UNESCO chair in gender equality and women's empowerment. I will stop here, and I will now invite Dr. Vasudevan to speak about new labs and innovation centers at the School of Medicine. Thank you, Amma.
Om Amriteshwari Namah. This is we want to establish an advanced clinical diagnostic lab in the healthcare campus at Kochi. And this advanced clinical diagnostic lab will, of course, we already have the diagnostic lab, but we want to emphasize that this should integrate all the diagnostic services, including histopathology, molecular biology, and other things. And there will be integrative genetics. And our emphasis on this will be personalized medicine. That will be the new term that is coming up in medicine, that suppose there are 100 persons in giving a same medicine, 95% will give the results, but 5% will not give that much result. And therefore, we need to personalize the medicine. And that is what we wish to integrate here. And then naturally that there will be biomarkers. We want to show all the biomarkers, as well as new biomarkers can be developed, and that will be an emphasis here. Along with that, there will be an emphasis on histopathology automation. Automation in histopathology has worked out in worldwide, and we wish to introduce it here. And of course, that will naturally lead to large-scale data production, and that will lead to integration of artificial intelligence in the healthcare. With all these, that naturally there will be more and more components for that. See, for example, there will naturally be an advanced cell culture laboratory, proteomics laboratory, and other omics laboratories, genetics laboratories, etc. Therefore, all these are envisaged in this advanced clinical diagnostic lab, which we wish to establish. And now, the second one is the 3D printed organ lab that already we have started that with Dr. Mahesh, and that is a picture is shown here in the upper right hand side. And that is, we want to establish more and more on that, because the healthcare will naturally be enhanced by this 3D printed organ lab. The third one is the Ophthalmology Clinical Trial Research Network Lab under Dr. Gopal Pillai. The right lower side, that it is given there that it is naturally retinal scanning is being done, and that that the machine is taken to the field, to the householders, and also that we want to emphasize large number of data will be taken in this, and therefore naturally there will be more and more advanced studies will be taken here. And number 4 will be the Pediatric Genetic Laboratory for Rare Diseases. Of course, this is an extension of number 1 that I have already told, and that there will be a lot of rare disorders are being come at our medical college, and therefore we would like to emphasize on that. And the 5th one will be the Robotic Surgical Planning Lab, and that of course already we have started small scale, but that will be emphasized, or we will give more emphasis under this particular healthcare diagnostic lab. Thank you very much. Namah Shivaya. And now I invite Dr. Shyam Divagar to continue that. Thank you.
Yeah, before Dr. Shyam comes and joins us, just wanted to quickly give a warm welcome to Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan, the director of the US National Science Foundation, who has also joined us now. A warm welcome to you, sir. Many thanks for joining us. And we would love to
Thank you so much.
And we would love to interact with you a little bit later in the program. Please.
Thank you,
sir. Dr. Shyam.
Om Amriteshwariye Namaha. Thank you, Amrita, for giving me this chance to present a very new dialogue. Over the last 10+ years, Amrita's advanced neuroscience and neurosurgery, neurology and neurosurgery groups at AIIMS Hospital has been doing amazing stuff for brain sciences, Parkinson's, and other diseases. With this, we empowered the School of Engineering, the School of Biotechnology together to harness this power, and by the vision of our Chancellor Amma, we have brought this new center called the Mind Brain Center, where we would work with social scientists, social groups, researchers from different wings, modeling the brain, understanding EEG signatures and low-cost neuroimaging. We are looking at low-cost devices for the Indian market, especially presenting how neurological disorders need to be diagnosed preclinically. And finally, from neuroscience to artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence to neuroscience, these are the 4 thrust areas that our labs would be doing. And with these 4 focuses, I'm very happy to conclude this. Thank you so much.
I'd now like to invite Dr. Bhavani Rao, UNESCO Chair in Women Empowerment and Gender Equality, Director of Amachi Labs, and also the Chairperson and Department of Social Work at Amrita Puri.
A very good afternoon, a very good morning, and a very good evening to all of you at different parts of the world. My humble salutations to my most beloved Chancellor, the guide and the teacher, and the inspiration that drives our university. It is indeed an honor to speak in front of her and to talk about an often repeated word, compassion-driven research. If you haven't figured it out by now, our alphabet starts with C, compassion. And that's why you will hear this very often, but not just compassion, it's also compassion that's compounded with knowledge. For Amma says it's indeed true empowerment when compassion is compounded with knowledge. Next slide, please. We have the greatest advantage as Amrita University to become a part of a much larger, massive movement of humanitarian activities that has been inspired and is mobilized by Amma. And one of the key, what I would like to present before you is a short summary of the key projects that the university is very actively involved in. And the first one that I will start with is the Amrita Serve project. Amma has adopted over 101 villages across the country in 21 different states of the country. And as a part of that initiative, the university has been involved in working with the villages to bring about sustainable development in them. And as a part of that initiative, the university has, among many centers with the university that are actually participating in this project, are 3 centers of excellence that I would like to highlight you because they're very recent. One is the UNESCO Chair in Experiential Learning in Sustainable Innovation and Development. And the second is the Center for Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment. And the third is the Center of Excellence in Tribal Empowerment through Digital Education. As I mentioned before, thank you. As I mentioned before, the Amrita Serve project is reflected in 21 different states in the country. It has over 165 active projects working with over 30 partner institutions, impacting over 200,000 people in rural India and over 700,000 hours, man hours. When I mean man hours, I mean the hours that are spent by the students and the faculty of the university in rural areas. Where do we work and how do we work? We work on focus areas that include energy and environment, water and sanitation, health and hygiene, livelihood and skill development, education and gender equality, waste management and infrastructure, agriculture and risk management. And we work, like I mentioned, with over 30 partners, and they're from all over the world. And it's really exciting to work with all these different universities from across the world in rural India for the development. And one of the most innovative ideas that came about, this was launched as one of our chancellor's initiatives in the year 2013, was a program called Live in Labs. And this Live in Labs was basically, how do we engage the faculty and the students at Amrita in solving grassroots level problems in the villages. And when it was launched, Live in Labs, it not only took care of research, but curriculum, training, and the involvement of every Amrita faculty and student in the work in the grassroots level in our country. Just for an example of the kind of work that is done by Live in Labs in the villages, this is just one example, just one village in Orissa, Guptapada. In this village, we have worked on smokeless cook stoves, toilet construction, water distribution systems, IoT-based agricultural methods, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana Kendras, which are skill development centers, taking care of health, sanitation, water, livelihood, and skill development. And for each of these, we've had different partners that were national or international and even governmental that actually formed a part of this initiative. Just a quick glance, and I do not have time to go into the 165 projects that we have. So just a quick look at some of the projects that we have done. It could be as something as innovative as a student developing an e-cycle, a solar powered cycle that will help them charge their cell phones or their or a lamp that is at home. The Saukyam sanitary pads that are made from banana fiber, which is eco-friendly and recyclable, reusable sanitary napkins. Micro hydro projects that will bring electrification to rural areas using a combination of waterfalls as well as solar power. There's also very in-depth, involved involved projects that are there at the grassroots level. For example, is the tablet-based education. This is something that is a continued presence in the village, where the children of the village are continuously educated using latest technologies. Can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. Another super impressive project of the MEMAT, the parent organization, is the Amrita Shri initiative. This initiative involves over 250,000 women in self-help groups across the country, and they are involved in small business capital, SHG formation, vocational training, life enrichment education, working in federations towards income generation. Not just that these women have been able to increase their incomes, they have been able to help other women who were in dire needs by either paying for surgeries, for their children's education, even building houses for them. And this is the impact of this particular project. Of course, the university also plays its role in becoming a part of these huge initiatives. For example, a lot of publications came out of just studying the impact of the lockdown on women's self-help groups and how to basically make smart self-help groups that are resistant to disasters like COVID. Also studies that are based on gender-based violence. So through these very, very large initiatives of the parent organization, the university is able to do very significant research that has a substantial impact on society. Another hallmark project is the Jeevamritam project. This project involves providing clean drinking water to over 5,000 communities across India. To date, over 250 of these projects have been completed. This involves actually a community-based participatory approach to provide clean drinking water to these communities with extended engagement with communities in a sustainable way using advanced technologies. And this was launched by the President, Sri Ramnath Kovind. It involves over 100 crore rupees in funding, again, targeting about 5,000 communities and expected to have over 10 million crore of beneficiaries. Another project that we're very proud of, this was launched in 2010, is the Amala Bharatam program, where the students and faculty as inspired by our Chancellor, started probably India's largest and first massive cleanup program. So with this, it is something that it's not done once off. It is something that the university is involved in a regular basis, including cleaning the Pampa River in Sabrimala annually. As a part of the Amala Bharatam program, we're also proud to be a part of the Swachh Bharat campaign, which involved building toilets for over 1,000 people within Kerala, but also across India. Not just in building toilets, but also training people to build their own toilets. The MA-MAT has also been involved in a lot of disaster management and relief activities. We've been active in over 25 disasters naturally and internationally. These are really large-scale disasters, starting from the 2000 Gujarat earthquake, including the 2004 tsunami, and such. Not just in terms of participation, it's also in terms of developing technologies for disaster preparedness and disaster mitigation. Another key thrust area is education. And needless to say, I think all of you have already heard through the different presentations on how different areas of Amrita University are there to not just provide education, but take education to a completely new level by bringing the latest technologies into education. Yes. There is one very, very significant fact that I overlooked while making the presentation. During the COVID lockdown, it was not just a question of studying the impact of the lockdown or COVID on the self-help groups. The parent organization also gave out 45 crore rupees to the women in self-help groups in stages with social distancing before the government could actually even mobilize itself to give out that funding. So during our survey, we realized that most of the people who did not get the government funding, but they had gotten Amma's funding, was something quite incredible. So can we go to the next slide? To cut it short, I think I'm running short of time. If you can go to slide 22, please. Thank you. We've had a lot of interesting happenings in the year 2020 to 2021. Some of the ones, I cannot go into every single thing that we have done, but some of the interesting ones are a project that we just launched in Srinagar in Kashmir, along with the CRPF, where we are working very closely with all the battalions of 24,000 CRPF Jawans in training them on mental health, and gender conversations. This is a very tricky thing because I think the number of suicides among the CRPF are probably the highest among all the paramilitary and military forces. And this is something that was seen as a great need. And it's something that we're very proud to be a part of as Indians. There is a series of seminars, webinars that was conducted during the year 2020, including water sustainability conferences, conferences for economic empowerment for women, and also for disaster risk reduction on the anniversary of the 2004 tsunami. Along with the CRPF training, this is the one which is 2021 highlights, but it is rooted in a project that was started earlier, which involved us doing meditation, yoga, and life enrichment education in the jails across Tamil Nadu and Kerala. This was originally started in Tamil Nadu, and the members of the MA MUT are now welcome family members of the people who are in the jails, and people look forward to the visits, the regular visits that are happening from the organization. The MA MUT was the first organization that was involved in training in all the jails in Kerala, and the Kerala jail, the Kerala State Jail Authority won an award for best practices, and that was supported by the organization. This was carried out in 54 jails in Kerala. Yes, sorry. Just a snapshot of the activities that just happened during the lockdown period. This involves more than 126 community events, disaster relief activities that are over 44 disaster relief activities, government meetings, mobilizing the villagers to make sure that they get all the government initiatives. They've been very active over the last year in all the villages that have been adopted by the MUT, making sure that they're able to withstand the onslaught of the lockdown due to COVID. And I think with this, I think I can close the presentation because I think we have a lot more exciting stuff to listen to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bhavani, for highlighting some of Amrita's humanitarian outreach initiatives. We now have with us Dr. Manisha Sudhir, UNESCO Chair for Experiential Learning for Sustainable and Innovation Development, Dean of International Programs.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I will present few of the upcoming research initiatives at the universities, research initiatives at the university. Can I go to the next slide? So in the discovery and the innovation labs, we have 7 other labs, which is sustainability and resilient communities, energy system, smart electronic system, cyber physical system, robotics, cyber security system, and AI. Next slide, please. To empower the communities that is spread across India in more than 150 villages in 27 states, we actually has devised a program called Living Labs, where the students and the faculty, rooted in compassion-driven research and value-based education, they experience, engage, and enable and empower to make the community empowered through their wholesome learning and become global citizens. To make this a success, the major thing we are coming up is a state-of-the-art laboratory, which is called Collaborate to Innovate, Design Labs for SDGs, which will be a networked design lab from the multiple campuses working together to come up with sustainable solutions. To make it better and comprehensive, we are coming up with immersive research labs in all of these villages. More than 20 of the villages will be connected to our different campuses through remote monitoring systems, which will help us to virtually even work and engage with the community to move forward. Next slide, please. I'm very happy to say that in the year 2020, Amrita has been given as the as in the impact ranking, we were in the 301, and in the water alone, we were globally ranked 48. To enhance this approach, next slide, please. To enhance this approach of our research initiatives in water sustainability, a new lab on water sustainability technologies and testing lab has been proposed, which will be looking into all the water sustainability issues and challenges, looking into the water quality, purification, water resource management, etc. Along with that, we know that because of the change in climate, there is a lot of natural hazards coming in. To study more about it, to monitor and early warn, we will come up with an integrated Earth System Dynamics laboratory, which will look into geodetic monitoring, hydrological monitoring, geophysical monitoring. Next slide, please. And the next one for the sustainability and the resilient communities is the Sustainable Resource Management Lab, which will look into developing low-cost electrochemical sensors for water and soil quality, smart soil fertigation, and smart water distribution management. Another lab which we have coming up is the Sustainable Materials and Resilient Infrastructure, where we will look into the advanced composite, practical and economical solution to infrastructure challenge in construction industries. Next slide, please. To also bring in the sustainability in these communities, we are also putting our research strengths on the energy systems area, where we are looking into the renewable energy systems and applications, where the major 4 laboratories which we are proposing is on smart microgrid technologies, power systems and renewable energy laboratory, embedded systems lab, and hardware in the loop lab. These labs will look into how can we to integrate the hybrid renewable energy systems to provide rural electrification and at the same time have effective and optimized energy for the smart city applications. Can we move on to the next slide? Another major group of laboratories proposed is under smart electronic systems, where we will be working on the design and development of electronic system for humanitarian application. The 4 labs are flexible wireless electronic devices for healthcare, which is a network center with very specific focus on bringing in flexible materials, stretchable materials, and low-cost sensors for working in the healthcare area. We will be collaborating with the medical school, the Nano, the Bio, and Coimbatore campus and Amritapuri campus. Another major one is the Advanced IoT and AI Lab for Extreme Environment, where we will be coming up with IoT systems which are low-cost, scalable, and deployable in extreme environment, which will be monitoring landslides, floods, avalanche, drought, etc. Another major lab which has been proposed is the Intelligent Electronic Systems and Communication Technologies Lab, which will look into the communication requirements, along with the new lab called Emerging Wireless Technology Labs, where they will look into antenna design and wireless systems for medical applications and also for extreme environments. The next set of labs are proposed under the cyber physical systems, where we are looking into the advanced cyber physical systems for healthcare monitoring and communication. Here we are proposing cyber physical systems lab, Center for Integrated Machine Health Monitoring, and advanced communication and deep learning areas. Next slide, please. The next set of labs is on robotics, where we are looking into the advanced robotics for humanitarian initiatives. 2 labs proposed are advanced robotics and automations, where they will look into using robotics for skill development, agriculture, healthcare applications, and also for the pneumatics and integration of the 4 didactic handling systems. Next slide, please. Another major thrust area which we have proposed labs are on cybersecurity systems, where we look into the testing and development of integrated cybersecurity applications. The 2 labs are IoT integrated with cybersecurity in AI, vulnerability and penetration testing labs, where both of them look into the security aspects on the Internet of Things framework, cybersecurity systems, integrating artificial intelligence to understand the vulnerability, understand what are the system security, and look into the cyber forensics. Another major 8 labs which are proposed under AI are AI labs for biomedical engineering, agriculture and business, Center for Artificial Intelligence, Amrita Intel AI Research Center, Innovation Center in AI. Next slide, please. Speech Processing Lab, Big Data Business Analytics Lab, Computational Genomics Lab, GIS and AI-based smart GIS and AI-based smart navigation and communication system. So in all these different areas of laboratories which has been proposed in from the previous presenters also, AI becomes the networking thing where it will use the AI technologies for the decisions, for the learnings, and also taking forward for early warning. So predictive analytics becomes another major part which all these innovations will look forward. And we hope each of our faculty from different campuses are getting the opportunity to work in each of these things. And it's a multi-campus effort, multi-dimensional and transdisciplinary effort to take forward Amrita's research in a very fast and rapid manner so that we can serve the communities in a better way. Thank you, everybody. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha. That was really amazing, the number of centers and labs that are being founded at Amrita. Now we move on to the main event. We would like to commence with the World Research Excellence Awards. We are really proud and honored to have some of Amrita's key researchers nominated by Stanford University as being among the top 2% scientists in the world, taking into account the impact, relevance, and importance of their research and publications. But before we start the awards, we would really like to hear from our Chancellor, from Amma. Amma has specially recorded a message for all of us, and please stay tuned on to hear Amma's divine words.
നമ്മുടെ സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ താഴെത്തട്ടിലുള്ളവർക്ക് പ്രയോജനം നൽകുന്ന പലതരം പദ്ധതികൾക്ക് വഴിയൊരുക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ സന്തോഷത്തിന്റെ പ്രതീകമാണിത്. മക്കളുടെ അകമഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രയത്നങ്ങളുടെ മുൻപിൽ അമ്മ ആദരവോടെ ശിരസ് നമിക്കുന്നു. ഗവേഷണങ്ങളുടെ ഫലവും സാധാരണക്കാർക്ക് ലഭ്യമാകണം. എന്നാൽ അതോടൊപ്പം നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രാമങ്ങളുടെ ശാലീനതയും സൗന്ദര്യവും സംസ്കാരവും കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കുകയും വേണം. അപ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ ഒരു രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ വികസനം പൂർണ്ണമാകും. അതാണ് അമ്മയുടെ ആഗ്രഹം. മൂല്യാധിഷ്ഠിതമായ ഗവേഷണത്തിന് മാത്രമേ സന്തുലിതമായൊരു വികസനത്തിന് വഴിയൊരുക്കാൻ സഹായിക്കും. അത് ലക്ഷ്യമാക്കി വേണം നമ്മൾ പ്രയത്നിക്കേണ്ടത്. സ്വന്തം കാര്യങ്ങൾ നേടാനും സ്വാർത്ഥ താല്പര്യങ്ങൾ സംരക്ഷിക്കാനും മാത്രം ചെയ്യുന്ന കർമ്മങ്ങൾ നമ്മുടെ കഴിവുകളെ തളച്ചിടും. മുമ്പോട്ടൊഴുകാൻ വെമ്പുന്ന നദിയിൽ അണകെട്ടി തടസ്സം സൃഷ്ടിക്കുന്ന പോലെയാണത്. അവിടെ മനഃശക്തിയുടെ പ്രഭാവം നിലച്ചു പോകും. ശരിയായ മനോഭാവത്തോടെ കർമ്മം ചെയ്യാനും ലക്ഷ്യത്തിനെത്താനുള്ള ഉത്സാഹവും പ്രചോദനവും ഇല്ലാതാകും. സമൂഹത്തിന്റെയും സഹജീവിയുടെയും നന്മയ്ക്കും ഉയർച്ചയ്ക്കും വേണ്ടി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുമ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ ഉൾപ്രേരണ ഉണ്ടാകുകയുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ നിരീക്ഷണ ബുദ്ധിയും മനസ്സിൽ അന്തർലീനം വയ്ക്കുന്ന കഴിവുകളും ഉണർന്ന് അറിവിന്റെ പുതിയ ഉള്ളറകൾ തുറക്കും. മനസ്സിന്റെ ശക്തിക്ക് പരിമിതികളില്ല. ഈ സത്യം നമ്മുടെ ഋഷീശ്വരന്മാർ യുഗങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പേ അറിഞ്ഞതും അനുഭവിച്ചതുമാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ആധുനിക സയൻസും അത് അംഗീകരിക്കുന്നു. ഈ പ്രപഞ്ചത്തിലെ അറിവുകൾ മുഴുവനും ഗ്രഹിക്കാനും സൂക്ഷിക്കാനും കഴിവുള്ള അത്യത്ഭുതമായ ഒരു കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറാണ് നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സ്. സാധാരണ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ജഡമാണ്. അതിന് അതിൻ്റെതായ കഴിവുകളില്ല. നമ്മൾ അതിൽ ഊട്ടിയിരിക്കുന്ന വിവരങ്ങളാണ് അത് നമുക്ക് നൽകുന്നത്. എന്നാൽ നമ്മുടെ ആന്തരിക ശക്തി അങ്ങനെയല്ല. അത് സ്വയം പ്രകാശിക്കുന്ന അറിവ് തന്നെയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് മക്കൾ ശ്രമിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കുക. പരിമിതികളും പ്രതിബന്ധങ്ങളും ഉണ്ടാകും. തളരാതെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോവുക. ശലഭങ്ങളെ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? നിൽക്കാതെ മുന്നോട്ട് പറന്നുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അതിന് തേൻ നുകരാൻ കഴിയുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ കർമ്മരംഗത്ത് നമ്മൾ മുന്നോട്ട് ചലിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കണം. അപ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ ജീവിതത്തിന്റെ മധു നുകരാനും മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് പകരാനും സാധിക്കും. മുന്നോട്ടെ 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 എന്നതായിരിക്കണം നമ്മുടെ മന്ത്രം. വെറും ഒച്ചിന്റെ ഒരു കഥ അമ്മ ഓർക്കുകയാണ്. കുറെ ഒച്ചകളോട് ഇഴഞ്ഞിഴഞ്ഞ് വടക്കോട്ട് പോവാണ്. അപ്പോ മുകളിൽ കൂടി കുറെ പക്ഷികൾ വടക്കുന്ന തെക്കോട്ട് പോവാണ്. ആ പക്ഷികൾ ഒച്ചിനോട് ചോദിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങോട്ട് പോവുകയാണെന്ന്. അപ്പൊ ഒച്ചുകൾ പറഞ്ഞ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇന്ന കാടിൽ വടക്കൊരു കാടുണ്ട്, ആ കാട്ടിലേക്ക് പോവാണ്. അപ്പൊ പക്ഷികൾ പറഞ്ഞ് ഞങ്ങൾ അവിടെ പോയിട്ട് യാതൊരു കാര്യമില്ല, ഞങ്ങൾ ആ കാട്ടിൽ നിന്നാണ് വരുന്നത്. അവിടെ വൃക്ഷങ്ങളെല്ലാം ഉണങ്ങി നിൽക്കുക, ഒരില പോലും ഇല്ലാതെ ഉണങ്ങി നിൽക്കുകയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾ തിരിഞ്ഞു പോകൂ എന്ന് ഒച്ചുകളോട് പറയാണ്. അപ്പൊ ഒച്ചുകൾ പക്ഷികളോട് പറയാണ്, ഞങ്ങൾ അവിടെ ഇഴഞ്ഞു ചെല്ലുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ആ വൃക്ഷങ്ങൾ തളിരിടാൻ തുടങ്ങലാണ്. അതുപോലെ ആയിരിക്കണം നമ്മൾ. അതുപോലെ മുന്നിലൊന്നും കണ്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കണം. നമ്മൾ റിസർച്ചിൽ നമ്മൾക്ക് ഒന്നും ചിലപ്പോൾ കിട്ടയില്ലായിരിക്കും. പല തടസ്സങ്ങളും ഉണ്ട്. തളരാതെ നമ്മൾ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകണം. പണ്ട് എത്രയോ പട്ടിണി മരണം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു 80% അതിൽ വ്യത്യാസം വന്നു. അങ്ങനെ എത്രയോ കാര്യങ്ങള് സയന്റിസ്റ്റ് ആയ മക്കൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയും. ജീവിതത്തില് രണ്ട് തരത്തിലുള്ള സാഹചര്യങ്ങളുണ്ടാവും. ചിലത് പ്രയത്നിച്ചതുണ്ട്, ചിലത് സ്വീകരിക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. ഉദാഹരണ ശരീരത്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ 5 സെല്ലേ ഉണ്ട്. എത്ര മരുന്ന് കഴിച്ചാലും, എത്ര ഭക്ഷണം കഴിച്ചാലും, എത്ര ആസനങ്ങൾ ചെയ്താലും, കാല് കീഴ്ക്കാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് കെട്ടിയിട്ടാലും നീളം വയ്ക്കാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. അത് നമ്മൾ സ്വീകരിക്കുക തന്നെ വേണം. ചിലത് പ്രയത്നിച്ചുണ്ട്, പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് തോറ്റു, വിധിന്ന് കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമോ, പിന്നെയും പ്രയത്നിക്കും. ഇന്നൊരു ജോലി കിട്ടിയില്ല, വിധിന്ന് കൊണ്ടിരിക്കും, പിന്നെയും നമ്മൾ ശ്രമിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. അതുപോലെ ചില പ്രയത്നിച്ചുണ്ട്, ചില സ്വീകരിക്കേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. മക്കൾ തളരരുത്. ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ വിചാരിച്ചുള്ളതാണെങ്കിലും തളരാതെ ശ്രമിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് മക്കൾ ഇരിക്കുക. തളരാൻ പാടില്ല. നമ്മുടെ കാഴ്ചപ്പാടിൽ ഈശ്വരന് നമ്മുടെ ഇതൊന്നും വേണ്ട. അതായത് സൂര്യന് മെഴുകുതിരിയുടെ ആവശ്യമില്ല. സൂര്യന് മെഴുകുതിരി പ്രകാശം കൊണ്ട് എന്താണ് ഫലം? ഈശ്വരൻ നമ്മുടെ ഇതൊന്നും വേണ്ട. ഒരു നദിക്ക് ഓടവെള്ളം കുടിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. പക്ഷെ ഓടയ്ക്ക് നദിവെള്ളം ആവശ്യമാണ്. ആ നദിവെള്ളം കോരിയോടെ വൃത്തിയാക്കുന്നത് പോലെ മക്കളുടെ കഴിവ് മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് പകരണം. മറ്റുള്ള ഓടയെന്നല്ല, അവരങ്ങനെ തളച്ചിട്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്, അടച്ചു വെച്ചിരിക്കുക. അവരെ നമ്മളിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരണം, നമ്മൾ അവരിലേക്ക് ചെല്ലണം. അണുകുടുംബം പോലെയാണ്. ഒരു കുട്ടി, ചിലപ്പോൾ 2 കുട്ടി പരസ്പര കാരുണ്യം നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടുവരെയാണ്. സിറ്റി ഇപ്പൊ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒറ്റപ്പെട്ട ദ്വീപ് പോലാണ്. ഗ്രാമം ഒരു ശൃംഖലയുടെ കണ്ണി പോലാണ്. വികസനം പട്ടണത്തിൽ മാത്രം നിൽക്കുന്ന പോലെ ആണ് ഇപ്പോഴും മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നത്. ഗ്രാമത്തിലേക്ക് ചെല്ലുന്നില്ല. ആ ഗ്രാമത്തിന്റെ തനിമയെ നശിപ്പിക്കണമെന്നില്ല. എന്നാലും അവരുടെ ആ കാരുണ്യം, സ്നേഹം അത് നശിപ്പിക്കാതെ നമ്മൾ അവരിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി ചെല്ലണം. അപ്പൊ ഏതൊരു കോളേജിനെ എടുത്ത് നോക്കുമ്പം അവരെത്ര ഫണ്ട് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് എത്ര പേപ്പർ എഴുതി, ഇതൊക്കെ നോക്കിയിട്ടാണ് റാങ്കിങ് നിശ്ചയിക്കുന്നത്. ആ ഗ്രാമങ്ങളിലുള്ള ജനങ്ങളുടെ ദുഃഖങ്ങളും കഷ്ടപ്പാടുകളും ഈ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ അവരുടെ പഠിത്തത്തിൽ ഇതുകൂടി ചേർക്കണം. ആ ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ കൊണ്ടുപോയി അവരുടെ ജീവിതം അവർ കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കണം. അപ്പോഴങ്ങനെ കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുമ്പം ഇവരെന്തെടുക്കുമ്പോഴും കഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നവരെ ഓർക്കും. ഗ്രാമത്തിലുള്ളവരുടെ ത്യാഗമാണ് പട്ടണത്തിലുള്ളവരുടെ ജീവനെ നിലനിർത്തുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ അവരുടെ ആരോഗ്യത്തിനോ ഒന്നും അവരുടെ കാര്യത്തിൽ പലരും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളവിടെ കൊണ്ടുവരുമ്പോൾ മനസ്സലിയും. നമ്മൾ ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ടുപോയപ്പോ ഒരു 50% കുട്ടികളുടെ വ്യത്യാസം വന്നു. ആഡംബര ജീവിതത്തിൽ നിന്നും വേസ്റ്റുകളിൽ നിന്നും അവരെ ഓർത്ത് സഹായിക്കാനുള്ള മനോഭാവങ്ങൾ പലരും കാണാനിടയായി. അപ്പോ ആ കാരുണ്യത്തിന്റെ മനസ്സ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നാലേ ശരിയായുള്ള വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം വ്യക്തി മനസ്സിന് വ്യാപ്ത മനസ്സിലേക്ക് പോകണം. നമ്മളിപ്പോ പക്ഷിയെപ്പോലെ പറക്കാനും മത്സ്യത്തെപ്പോലെ നീന്താനും പഠിച്ച് മനുഷ്യപ്പോലെ നടക്കാനും ജീവിക്കാനും മറന്നു പോവുകയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ശരിയായ ഒരു നല്ല മനുഷ്യനാകാൻ ഈ ഒരു ഭാവം കൂടെ കോളേജുകളിൽ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് പഠന വിഷയമാക്കിയാലും നന്നായിരിക്കുമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ സനാതന ധർമ്മത്തില് സൃഷ്ടി സൃഷ്ടാവൻ രണ്ടല്ലെന്ന് പറയാമല്ലോ. സമുദ്രത്തിൽ വെള്ളമുണ്ട്, തിരയിലും വെള്ളമുണ്ട്. സ്വർണത്തിലും കമ്മലും മാലയുണ്ട്, കമ്മലും മാലയിലും സ്വർണ്ണമുണ്ട്. രണ്ടിലും അടിസ്ഥാനം സ്വർണ്ണമാണ്. അപ്പൊ സൃഷ്ടിയെ സൃഷ്ടാവായി കണ്ട് സേവിക്കുക, സ്നേഹിക്കുക, അതാണ് സനാതന ധർമ്മം നമ്മളോട് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്. പ്ലെയിനിന്റെ എഞ്ചിൻ കേടായാലും പറക്കില്ല, സ്കൂളിലും പറക്കാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. ഒന്നും നിസ്സാരമല്ല നമുക്ക്. ഇത് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഓർക്കുന്നൊരു സംഭവം, ഒരു നാൽക്കാല കവലയിൽ ഒരു വിഗ്രഹം ഇരുന്നു. ആ വിഗ്രഹം ഇങ്ങനെ 2 കൈയും പൊക്കിയിട്ട് കൈ പൊക്കി പിടിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന വിഗ്രഹമാണ്. കഴുത്തിലൊരു തകിടിൽ 2 കൈയും പൊക്കിയിട്ട് എൻ്റെ കൈകളിലേക്ക് വരുമെന്നാണ് അതിനകത്ത് എഴുതിയിരുന്നത്. അപ്പോ കുറച്ച് നാൾ കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോ ഏതോ കാരണം കൊണ്ട് കൈ നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. അപ്പൊ ചുറ്റുമുള്ള ഗ്രാമവാസികൾ പറഞ്ഞു, ഈ വിഗ്രഹം കൈകൊട്ട് ഇല്ലതാനും കൈകളിലേക്ക് വരുമെന്ന് എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നു, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ വിഗ്രഹം മാറ്റിവെക്കാം. ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പ് പറഞ്ഞു. ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പ് പറഞ്ഞതല്ല, ഇങ്ങനെ കൈകൾ ഫിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പിടിപ്പിച്ചാൽ മതി, മാറ്റേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. വേറെ പ്രായം ചെന്നൊരു അച്ഛൻ പറഞ്ഞു, കൈകൾ വയ്ക്കുകയും ചെയ്യണ്ട, മാറ്റുകയും വേണ്ട. അപ്പൊ പിന്നെ കൈകളില്ല, പിന്നെ എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്ന തകിടിൽ ഇതിന്റെ കൈകളിലേക്ക് വരുമോ? അപ്പൊ ആ പ്രായം അച്ഛൻ പറഞ്ഞു, ആ തരകത്തിനടിയിൽ എഴുതിയിരിക്കും, എൻ്റെ കൈ നിങ്ങളിലൂടെ. അപ്പൊ ഈശ്വരന്റെ കൈ നമ്മളിലൂടെയാണ്, നമ്മുടെ കണ്ണിലൂടെയാണ്, നമ്മുടെ ചെവിയിലൂടെയാണ്. സാധാരണക്കാരൻ ഒരു പോസ്റ്റാണ്, തപസ്ക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ. അത്രയും ശക്തി ധ്യാനം കൊണ്ടും മനോഭാവം കൊണ്ടും ഉത്തരിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. അതുകൊണ്ട് ജനങ്ങൾക്ക് കൊടുക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് അത് പാല് തിളച്ച് തുളുമ്പുന്ന പോലെ നമ്മളെ വ്യക്തി മനസ്സ് വ്യാപ്ത മനസ്സിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോകും. കാരുണ്യം. അമ്മ ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ ജനിച്ചതാണ്. ഗ്രാമങ്ങളുടെ സംസ്കാരം അറിയാം, കഷ്ടപ്പാടുകൾ ഒത്തിരി അമ്മ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അമ്മ ഈ ഒരു ഗ്രാമത്തിലേക്കുള്ള നോട്ടം എടുത്തു വെച്ചത്. അനേക സംഭവങ്ങളിൽ ഒരു സംഭവം പറയാം. ഒരിക്കൽ അമ്മ ഒരു കുഞ്ഞിനെ, ഇളയ സഹോദരനെ കൊണ്ട് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ പോകുമ്പം ഒരു മോള് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ തന്നെ കിടന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ ഉരുണ്ട് വിളിവെക്കുകയാണ്. കരഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കും, 2-3 മണിക്കൂർ കൊണ്ട് കരഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടേ വിളിവെച്ച് ഒരു പ്രസവ വേദന പോലെ കിടന്ന് വിളിവെക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. കണ്ട പ്രസവ വേദന ദൂരം നോക്കിയാൽ പ്രസവിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി വിളിവെക്കുന്ന പോലെ തോന്നും. വേദന കൊണ്ട് പൊളയാ, കിഡ്നിക്ക് കല്ലായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ കുഞ്ഞു സഹോദരനെയും കൊണ്ട് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ പോയി ചീട്ടെടുത്തു, ഡോക്ടറെ കണ്ട് തിരിച്ചു വന്നപ്പോൾ അവർ കരയാണ്. എൻ്റെ കയ്യിൽ എൻ്റെ അമ്മ അന്ന് 15 പൈസ തന്നയച്ചു. ഇളയ സഹോദരന് 2 ദോശയും ഒരു ചായയും വാങ്ങിച്ചു കൊടുക്കും. അപ്പോ ഈ 15 പൈസ എൻ്റെ കയ്യിലുണ്ട്. അത് പിടിച്ച് വിളിവെക്കുന്ന അടുത്തേക്ക് പോയി. ആൾക്കാർ കൂടി നിൽക്കുന്നു, കുറെ ആൾക്കാർ കൂടി നിൽക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഞാൻ ഇത് നോക്കി നിന്നു. എന്താന്ന് അന്വേഷിച്ചേ, പറഞ്ഞു ഒരു സൂചിയാണ് ഇവിടെ ഉള്ളത്. അത് ആ സൂചി ഒരാൾക്ക് കുത്തിവെക്കും, പിന്നെ വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ട് തിളപ്പിക്കും, എന്നിട്ട് അടുത്ത അതേ സൂചി കൊണ്ട് കുത്തിവെക്കും. അപ്പൊ ഇതാണ് ഇവിടെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. കറണ്ട് ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ കുത്തിവെപ്പ് നടക്കില്ല. 10 പൈസ കൊടുത്താൽ സ്പിരിറ്റുള്ള വെള്ളം ഒരു ചെറിയ കുപ്പി കിട്ടും. അത് മേടിച്ചു കൊടുത്താൽ അത് വെച്ച് ഒരു ഈ സൂചി കഴുകിയിട്ട് അടുത്താക്കി ഇഞ്ചക്ഷൻ. അത് അവരവർ വാങ്ങിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് കൊടുക്കണം. അപ്പൊ ഈ വിളിവിക്കുന്ന അമ്മയ്ക്ക് ആ 10 പൈസ ഇല്ല വാങ്ങിച്ചു കൊടുക്കാൻ. 10 പൈസ ഇല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ടാണ് 4-5 മണിക്കൂർ കൊണ്ട് അമ്മ വിളിവയ്ക്കുകയാണ്. അമ്മ 10 പൈസ കൊടുത്തു. അവര് ആ മരുന്നും വെള്ളം മേടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് വന്ന് കഴുകി കുത്തിവെച്ചു. കുറച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോ അമ്മയുടെ വിളി തീർന്നു. പിന്നെ മൂത്രം. ഇത് ചെറിയൊരു സംഭവം, ലക്ഷക്കണക്കിന് സംഭവം അമ്മയ്ക്ക് അറിയാം. 1000 രൂപയുടെ വാച്ചിട്ടുള്ള സമയം അറിയാം, 1,00,000 രൂപയുടെ വാച്ചിട്ടുള്ള സമയം അറിയാം. ആവശ്യത്തിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് മറ്റുള്ളവരെ കൂടി പരിഗണിക്കുന്നൊരു മനോഭാവം എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉണ്ടാകാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ്. കുറച്ചെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടാകാൻ അത്രയും നല്ലത്. സമൂഹത്തിലും ജനങ്ങൾക്കും പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രാമങ്ങൾക്കും നന്മയും വികാസവും ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന മക്കളുടെ എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്കും ഒപ്പം അമ്മയുണ്ട്. അറിവിന്റെ പുതിയ മേഖല കണ്ടെത്താനും ലോകത്തിന് ഉപകാരപ്രദമായ സംഭാവന നൽകാൻ മക്കൾക്ക് കർമ്മവീര്യവും ആത്മശക്തിയും തെളിഞ്ഞ ബുദ്ധിയും ഉണ്ടാകാൻ മക്കളെ പരമാത്മാവിൽ തന്നെ സമർപ്പിക്കുന്നു.
As you all see, Amma's perspective is totally different. There is a word in Malayalam called karchapad, which means perspective. While we are often stuck at the trees, Amma sees the whole forest. In fact, She sees the whole world and she sees unity in the whole world. No wonder that under her guidance, Amrita University has made such great strides in research and is now the #1 private university in the country. We would now like to commence with the World Research Excellence Awards for Amrita. Just want to give you a little timeline. So we have the award ceremony now, and then we would have an interaction of our chancellor with our guests of honor. So that will happen in a few minutes. So with that, let me first invite our beloved Chancellor Amma to give the Excellence Research Awards to the key researchers from Amrita University who have been ranked as the top 2% scientists in the world. First up, among the field of polymers is Dr. Shanti Kumar Nair, Dean of Research at Amrita University and the Director of the Center of Nanosciences and Molecular Medicine. He has an H index of 72 and has published over 500 journal papers. He's also the former winner of the Presidential Young Investigator Award from President Reagan through the National Science Foundation. Dr. Nair, many, many congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Manisha Sudhir, UNESCO Chair for Experiential Learning for Sustainable Innovation and Development and the Dean of International Programs. Her research work has been instrumental in deploying the first ever wireless sensor network capable of issuing landslide warnings, which has helped many, many people. Dr. R. Jayakumar is a professor at the Center of Nanosciences and Molecular Medicine. Dr. Jayakumar has over 240 journal publications, 4 books, 12 book chapters, and 10 patents to his credit. Dr. Jayakumar. Then we have Dr. Madhav Datta, who is joining us virtually. Dr. Datta is the chairperson of the Amrita Center of Industrial Research and Innovation. He was also awarded the IBM's prestigious 9th Plateau of Invention Achievement Award. Dr. Datta, hope your monitor is on. We can see you. We would now like to invite for single year awards for the year 2019, Dr. Radhika N, Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering, School of Engineering, Coimbatore. She has been recognized as one of the top 2% scientists across the world in mechanical engineering. Next is Dr. R. Krishna Kumar, Clinical Professor and Head of the Department of Pediatric Cardiology at the Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences at Kochi. He's also the past president of the Pediatric Cardiac Society of India. And then Dr. Vinay Kumar Ravi, who unfortunately could not join us, but is an alumni out of both the Mysore campus and the Etimbrai campus. He's also recognized as one of our topmost researchers. I would like to call Dr. Krishna Kumar to say a few words of thanks.
Thank you. And I would speak on behalf of all the recipients of the award. And I think they would echo the same sentiments that I have, which is I consider this as the greatest award that I have ever received. And this is something I value deeply. A lot has been said today. I don't want to add to the words that have already been spoken. So I would just think about dwelling upon the unfathomable silence that exists within Amma, from which we derive all our inspiration. And that is, to me, I think the greatest source, that's the reason why we are what we are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we would have a wonderful session planned with Amma interacting with our guests of honor. I would like to invite our Amrita's Vice Chancellor, Dr. Venkat Rangan, to please come and introduce the session. Dr. Rangan is humbly asking me to continue. We are very honored to have Dr. Venkatrangan with us, our Vice Chancellor, and also one of the foremost scientists in the country, one of the youngest faculty members in the University of California, and also one of the top 25 stars of the Internet technologies labeled by Internet World, Dr. Venkatrangan, our Vice Chancellor. Now I would like to commence the session. We would like to invite Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan to address the audience and say a few words of guidance, sir, and then we can continue from there. Dr. Panchanathan, the director of the US National Science Foundation, and he's also the executive vice president of Arizona State University prior to this. And during his time, ASU achieved many, many awards and was one of the fastest growing and most innovative research universities in the US. Dr. Panchanathan, please, sir, over to you.
Namaskaram, Amma. My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet. I fondly recall being in the divine presence of Amma more than a decade back in Milan, Italy, where I met sisters Bhavani and Krishna and brothers Vice Chancellor Venkat and Jeff. That was indeed an amazing experience, being with Amma all night, watching her, blessing all the devotees. It's a transformational experience. I have since then had the pleasure of meeting sisters Manisha and Karen when they visited Arizona a few years back. Very happy to be with all of you today on the important occasion of celebrating what is very important, the achievement of Amrita University's accomplishments under the divine guidance of none other than the Chancellor, Amma herself, in research and innovation. Truly, having listened to the presentations by sisters Bhavani, Manisha, and others, I will say Amrita stands for the following: A, achieving; M, meaningful; R, research; I, innovation; and T, technology; and the A, advancements. So Amrita should truly stand for achieving meaningful, societally meaningful research, innovation, technology, advancements. That's what Amrita really is. It's a personification of true selfless service to humanity through the God-given talent. As Sister Bhavani said about live-in laboratories, we could safely say, after hearing all this, that Amrita University is a live-in lab for selfless service with impact. The entire university is itself a live-in lab for impact with selfless service. Impact is possible when you have important action is impact. Again, I take the word impact. The I in the impact is inspiration. You're all blessed, and we are all blessed to have the divine inspiration, because inspiration doesn't come from anywhere other than the divine words that Amma shared today. Divine inspiration. That divine inspiration then motivates us. That is the M of the impact. The divine inspiration with the divine motivation. But then the P of the impact is purity of purpose, because the inspiration with the motivation, with the purity of wanting to serve everybody is important. And that then makes us act. That is the A of the impact. Action. Action that was emphasized by Amma with the spirit of service. And the C is truly the word Amma personifies, compassion. You have to act with compassion. And then the T of the impact is the God-given talent. So with the divine inspiration, divine motivation, and with the purity of purpose, if we act with a selfless service, with compassion as the underpinning, then the talent, the God-given talent, will manifest itself, so that this unbelievable accomplishments that Amrita University is truly celebrating today is made possible. At NSF, since coming in, I have been talking about the DNA of NSF. The DNA of NSF has two strands, As you know, the DNA is a two-strand, highly interacting. The one strand is the basic research, curiosity-driven, discovery-based exploration. That is one strand. The other strand of the DNA is use-inspired, solutions-focused innovations and translations. These are not separate. These are highly intertwined, like the DNA is. One makes the other possible. Curiosity, basic research makes translational research possible. And you all know, when you serve humanity, new problems get found. New problems get found. And therefore, that motivates you to do more research. Though that's how this works. So serving humanity, in fact, you could say, is motivating more basic research. And that is why Amrita University is excelling, because your focus is on both. That is the importance for science. I keep emphasizing that the DNA of NSF should be that. We should serve humanity. As Amma beautifully said, talent is everywhere. Ideas are everywhere. They are not just in cities. They are not just in rich families. They are everywhere. In fact, I would say it is in the poor families. The children who have grown up in poor environments are the ones that are willing to take risks. They are the entrepreneurs because they are willing to take risks. They are not spoiled children. They are children who want to get the best for them and their families. And therefore, we have our responsibility. We have our responsibility to ensure that everybody has a chance for education and to bring out their God-given talent. And so I applaud Amrita University for that commitment of serving the rural areas and serving the rural children so that their talent might also serve humanity in turn. We all are in a COVID moment. We know that. Yes, COVID is a challenge, but COVID is a reminder from the divine. It's a reminder from the divine to make sure that global challenges need global expertise leading to global solutions. We all have to work together. It has also shown us how vulnerable we are. We might think that we are mighty, but we are not. A small, unseen virus can topple everything. We are vulnerable. Therefore, what it teaches us is humility. We have to be humble. We have to be humble that we have been given the opportunity as scientists and engineers and technologists to serve humanity. It is not we are serving anybody. We are just instruments in the divine hands. And if we, as Amma said beautifully, if we do not block and let the divine work through our instrument and keep our instrument clean, keep our instrument open and willing to serve, then the divine will work through this instrument. So the importance of unity, the importance of family, the importance of friends, the importance of society, the importance of service, and most importantly, what COVID has shown us is what is possible with technology, not only to combat the epidemic, but also how we can connect to everybody. Because right now I'm talking from Washington, DC. We have shown if I can talk from Washington, DC, we can connect to every rural part of the great country of India and the great state of United States, great country of United States, and motivate every young person. Jobs can be everywhere. Talent and ideas can be nurtured everywhere. Because today technology has shown that we can connect everybody. Therefore, it is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to make sure that we are serving through science and technology. And that's what we are here for. And that's why God has put us on this earth at this time to serve. And so I'm so inspired by all that you have done, all that you have done. That's because of the divine grace of Amma, propelling every one of you, moving forward in science technology. And that Amrita is a great catalyst. And I congratulate you all. And with, again, my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Amma. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my thoughts today.
അല്ല നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം ഈ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ മക്കളുടെ അഭിപ്രായം എന്താണ് നമ്മൾ എന്താ ചെയ്യണം അതുകൂടി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് പെടുത്താൻ നന്നായിരിക്കും എൻ്റെ കാഴ്ചപ്പാടിൽ.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Amma is also suggesting that if you have any advice for the Amrita University, the way they can better themselves, from your insights and your wisdom, if you can share some of the things that Amrita can do to improve themselves, that will also be a great boon for them.
No, Amma, thank you so much for saying this. You're very kind. And, you have said the most important words. I will only reflect that. There is tremendous talent in Amrita University. When I look at Sister Bhavani and what she is accomplishing and what she is leading, as one example, she is truly a representative of what a divine instrument can accomplish. If only you submit your talents to the divine, you can accomplish. If all of you, every one of you can accomplish what Sister Bhavani is accomplishing, the world will be a much better place. So what I would say is you have role models. You have role models right in front of you. You have the divine inspiration right in front of you. The only advice I have is always look to humanity. Every opportunity that you have to serve, take advantage of that. Keep your eyes open. Don't keep your eyes closed or sit inside your office rooms and type away at the next best journal publication. That's important. But you have to go outside in the world and look at what is there. Like Amma said, when she went and saw this woman suffering, she saw it and she acted. That is how when you go out into the world, you have the unique opportunity in Amritapuri and all the other locations that you have. You can go to the rural areas. You can see the problems and the problems that require solutions where you can solve them. So please pay attention to that. But remember, always make sure that you're excelling in everything that you do. Never accept mediocrity. As students, never accept mediocrity. You are here to bring out the best in you. You have the potential for excellence. Never settle for second. Never settle for second. Always be excellent, excellent, excellent in everything that you do. And if you trust and believe that God is working through you, believe me, I can tell you from personal experience. I tell people none of what I'm doing right now is because of me. It is because of the divine spirit that works through me. It is not by me. It is through me. And the same spirit is in all of you. You can accomplish a lot of things because of the divine grace. So please take full advantage. You are in the divine presence. You have the blessings. You have the motivation and inspiration. So every one of you should treat this as a great boon that you are in the divine presence and you have this opportunity of educating yourself in Amrita University. So you have to live up to that expectation. I always say, much is given to people, but also much is expected of what is given to you. When it is given to you, the education of Amrita University, you have to therefore be shining stars like Sister Bhavani and others. And then the world will be a better place. Thank you, Amma. Thank you for allowing me to share a few words.
Thank
you so much, Dr. Sethuraman. We'd like to invite Dr. Venu Govindaraju, Vice President for Research and Economic Development, and Sunny's Distinguished Professor and the Center of Biometrics and Sensors of Computer Science at the State University of New York. We are very happy to have you with us, sir, and we would request you to share a few words of wisdom.
Charan Sparsh Pranams, Amma. It's difficult to follow such eloquent speech from my friend Panch over there. But just one quick note to add, good things have all been said already. But I wanted to give one example from University at Buffalo and talking about doing research for the societal good. We all keep in mind that we don't work in silos. And even all of research and university, in some sense, when we look at the entire society, is one silo. So we need to work with other sectors of society. And when COVID hit us last year, our university's research and health equities worked with, the public schools, with the food security programs, with the banking programs, with the hospitals, so that, the mortality rate among the less privileged people in society was not being adversely affected. In fact, Buffalo is one of the cities in the US where the mortality rate for African Americans and other poor people is just about the same as that for the privileged in the society. So just a few words on that we all want to work together, and university and education and research is one part. There are all these other cogs of the wheel working together for societal good. Thank you, Amma, for this privilege and honor to be in your presence. Pranams.
Sir, thank you so much for your words. Amma is
വെസ്റ്റേൺ രാജ്യം കുറേ റിസർച്ചിൽ വളരെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോയിട്ടുള്ളതാണല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ എന്തെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതുണ്ടോ? ഇതിൽ ഉപദേശം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൊടുത്താൽ നന്നായിരിക്കും.
Amma is saying that you have spoken about the role of the university. The West has advanced quite a lot in research, and from your experience and from your wisdom, is there any advice that you would like to give to the university faculty and the students as to how they can better themselves?
Actually, Panch said it so nicely. It's like a candle being shown to the sun. Amma, your university, Amrita University, is doing everything excellently. There is very little for us to offer from here. Just to say that I'll repeat the words that Panch just said. Focus on excellence, look at societal needs, and be divinely inspired. That's all. Just repeating the words.
Thank you very much, Dr. Govindaraju. I just wanted to mention to all our guests that we have thousands of our faculty members and students listening to your august words. So very, very privileged to have all of you here. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Prashant Mohapatra, the Vice Chancellor for Research at the University of California, Davis. He's a renowned researcher in the field of wireless and mobile networks. Dr. Mohapatra, please join us and please share your words of wisdom with us.
First of all, my sincere pranam to Amma. It is certainly a delight to be over here. I used to enjoy my annual visit to San Ramon in California to meet Amma and the entire team almost every year for the last 20 years. Unfortunately, that did not happen last year, but I'm glad that I got this opportunity to relive those visits. So I know Panch basically said everything that I had planned to talk about, but I want to highlight an additional thing. You know, the one of the concepts that Amma proposed in her message was about perseverance in research and also the impact of research. And the brightest example that we see now is the development of multiple vaccines for the pandemic in less than 1 year. Who would have thought that? Usually it takes about 10 years. Research and scientific advancement are the vehicles through which we could have multiple effective vaccines within such a short span of time. I want to highlight the perseverance. I had this unique opportunity to have a discussion with Dr. Katie Carrico, who was the co-founder of the messenger RNA, which is the theme of Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Dr. Carrico was telling me that 20 years back when she was pursuing the vaccination approach through messenger RNA, no one believed that it would work. She would not get any publications out of it. She was not funded by the usual funding agencies. She was in fact demoted from her work, but she continued. She persevered the research in order to be successful. And look what an impact that has created now. Our life would not be becoming better without those vaccines that came out of messenger RNA. One of the things I really like about the research enterprise of Amrita University is the focus on regional impact. And that is such a unique thing. And I would certainly encourage Amrita to keep following through. Another highlight that I would like to suggest that for sure, pandemic will end. Okay, at some point of time, sooner or later it will end. We need to adapt our higher education as well as research to the new normalcy that will follow. However, as Panch has already mentioned, discovery, innovations, and realization of ideas will always govern the societal growth and will maintain the safety of the society and the mankind. So I'm really delighted to see all the work that are being done at Amrita University. Thank you and pranam, Amma.
മോൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയാനുണ്ടോ?
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Amma would have the same question for you. Do you have any advice for the faculty? Because there are a lot of eminent faculty members here, so they will all be very happy to.
എന്ത് ചെയ്താൽ എങ്ങനെ ചെയ്താൽ ഇവിടെ ഈ ഡോക്ടർമാർ ഒന്നുകൂടെ ആഴത്തിൽ പോയാല് ഒന്നുകൂടെ നന്നായിരിക്കും. ഡോക്ടർമാർ മറ്റുള്ളവർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഡോക്ടർമാരോട് കുറച്ച് അവർക്ക് സമയം കിട്ടുന്നില്ല, അതിനോട് കുറച്ച് ഒന്നുകൂടെ നന്നായിരിക്കും നമുക്ക് തോന്നും.
We have our eminent faculty members here. At the same time, Amma says we have also doctors here, from the medical profession. So Amma says that if doctors get into research, they can contribute a lot. Of course, they don't get much time because they are so busy with the patients. They get time to do research, they can do a lot. So Amma would again ask the same question, what would be your advice to the faculty and the students? How can we make Amrita better?
Thank you. So 2 quick things. First is the scope of impact that Amrita's research enterprise is pursuing is vast. Working for a community that needs help, especially at the lower level. India has such a wide population, so that should be continued, and that focus need to in fact be expanded. The live in lab experience and all the work that Bhavani talked about, those should be certainly more exaggerated as we move on. But the other comment that I would like to make, and especially for medical sciences, is how do we adapt to build a resilient world? I mean, we saw the example where the world changed almost overnight. What it was in the month of February, it was quite different in the month of March during 2020. How do we foresee that such changes would impact our life in future? Everything starting from health to economy and education system in between, somewhere in there. So making the world and the humanity resilient for these sudden natural events, is something that we need to look at. I don't think we are, the current events showed that we were not ready for it. So if we pursue more medical research in the areas of making the society and the mankind more resilient for such diversion, that will be something to be careful about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohapatra. Amazing love from Amma. We had Mr. Amitabh Kant was also going to join us for this August event, but unfortunately, he is in a meeting with the Prime Minister of India right now. But Mr. Kant has kindly consented to send us a quick video recording, which we would like to play. Mr. Amitabh Kant is the CEO of Niti Aayog, National Institution of Transforming India, and also the key driver of Make in India, Startup India, Incredible India, and God's Own initiatives. He's one of the foremost policy thinkers in the government of India. So if we have the video, we would like to play it for a few minutes.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, New India has a strong focus on science and technology, realizing that it is a key element for economic growth. Technological innovation is playing a key role in boosting economic performance, accelerating the pace of globalization, and transforming human society for the better in the process. India is the third largest group of scientists and technicians in the world and is predicted to be among the world's largest suppliers of university graduates by 2030. India is also witnessing a leap in patent applications every year and registered a year-on-year growth of 3 to 5% in the last 3 years. And this is evident from the country's ranking in the Global Innovation Index, which has improved from 81 in 2015 to 48 in 2019 among 130 plus countries. The current R&D expenditure is progressively increasing from 0.7% of GDP to over 2% of GDP in the coming years to scale up innovation-led entrepreneurship in various sectors to be in the top 25 innovative economies by 2025. With the surge in Industry 4.0, industry is moving towards a mammoth transition from traditional practices to innovation-driven sustainable models to promote impactful growth in economic output and human capital. According to UNCTAD's Technology and Innovation Report 2021, India is one of the greatest outperformers among developing countries to use, adopt, and adapt frontier technologies than their per capita GDPs. The USIAI initiative recently launched by the Indo-US Science and Technology Forum will also serve as a platform to discuss opportunities, challenges, and barriers for bilateral AI R&D collaboration, enable AI innovation, developing an AI workforce, etc. The adoption of frontier technologies have unlocked new routes to prosperity through agriculture, manufacturing, trade and services, the linking of informal and formal sectors, and domestic interconnectivity. The ambassadors of France, Germany, and European Union during the virtual summit with India announced that they will work out a detailed plan with India to fund more innovative projects in the state of Kerala in the coming years, focusing on developing sustainable habitats. In line with the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, CDAC has also signed an MOU with National Supercomputing Mission host institutes to establish supercomputing infrastructure in various premier institutions across India and accelerate the pace of research and innovation using computational science techniques. Niti Aayog, through its flagship program, Atal Innovation Mission, has also been establishing world-class incubators called Atal Incubation Centers to nurture world-class startups and thousands of state-of-art Atal Tinkering Labs across schools, creating game-changing, problem-solving, innovative mindset in young school students. Challenge-driven innovations through Atal New India Challenges and spurring community center innovations through Atal Community Innovation Centers is key to addressing community-centric challenges and creating thousands of local hubs of innovation and job creation. All of these would nurture innovative startup businesses in their pursuits to become scalable and sustainable enterprises. I'm glad to know that the incubator at Amrita University, supported by Atal Innovation Mission, is performing exceptionally well by supporting more than 100+ startups, and 6 startups raised external investments worth rupees 174.3 crores. In the year 2020, in spite of the pandemic, they are all supporting many of AIM initiatives. The government announced the largest ever allocation of rupees 6,302 crores to the Ministry of Science and Technology in the budget 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also allocated increased allocation to the Department of Biotechnology and to the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research to promote innovations in sunrise sectors of growth. In addition, the Government of India has launched a production-linked incentive scheme in key 10 areas of cutting-edge technology. These include automobile, battery storage, solar PV, and cutting-edge technologies in steel, etc. The objective is to bring in size and scale of manufacturing in India. India is aggressively working towards establishing itself as a leader in industrialization and technological development, and to ensure that it becomes an integral part of the global supply chain. Significant research and innovations in nuclear energy, space, pharmaceuticals, cybersecurity, nanotechnology, and other frontier technologies will surely transform India's position as a global technological hub in the next 5 years. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
We also have a wonderful message from Dr. Satish Reddy. Dr. Satish Reddy is one of the top defense scientists in the country. He's the Secretary of the Department of Defense, R&D, and the Chairman of Defense Research and Development, DRDO. He could not make it with us in person today, but again, he, as one of the strongest supporters of Amrita Research, we would like to see a few words from him. So Dr. Satish Reddy's words.
Pranam to Amma and Namaskar to everyone who is present there. the Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty, the students of Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. At the outset, let me congratulate all the award winners of this first edition of AIRA, the Amrita Innovations and Research Awards. Amrita has been working on many advanced technologies and innovations, and particularly for the defense R&D, they have been working with us on many of these advanced technologies, whether it is cyber technology, artificial intelligence, materials, and so on and so forth. In fact, I am extremely happy that I have been the chief guest of the convocation of Amrita University a couple of years back. I thank Amma and the university management for inviting me for that, and also today for this first edition of these awards. The country has achieved many technological systems and projects which we have developed in the country last couple of years. Now it is at a stage where you have to take another quantum leap, developing the futuristic technologies, coming out with a lot of innovations, and in fact, let me tell you, come out with technologies and products which are first of its kind. If the country has to prosper, that's only by the technology. Today, the technological innovations, technological advancements, the one which make the country prosper in a big way. A lot of promotions of innovations and research in the academia is being done in the country in a big way. Lots of schemes from DRDO, Ministry of Defense, and various government departments to promote the innovations are coming up. Particularly, the DRDO, to support the innovations and research, many schemes have been brought out. In that, particularly, one technology development funding for the students who are coming out of the colleges or universities, or the startups connected to the incubation centers will be funded either up to 1 crore or up to 10 crore rupees based on the type of the problem and design and the criticality. I request all of you to utilize that opportunity, come out with many solutions for various problems which are there in the defense technological areas, and then utilize this technology development funding. And there are many schemes for promoting the research in academia, whether through our Directorate of Future Technology Mission or the ERIPR, extramural research, or the research boards what we have in various fields, whether it is aeronautics or materials or life sciences and naval sciences and all that. These give a lot of projects to the universities, and I request you to avail that facility and come out with many more research innovations. I am sure that Amrita University, with the blessings of Amma, will come up in a big way in the country and stand as an example which produces a lot of research output and innovations output. I wish Amrita will become the engine of innovations for all the students who are coming out of that university. My best wishes to all of you, and my congratulations once again to the awardees, and my pranam to Amma. Namaskar.
We would also like to, we have two more august guests, Dr. Bharat Jairam and Professor Madhavan Pillai. Both of these guests are again very strongly affiliated with Amrita's research, and we would request them to say their pranams to Amma. Dr. Madhavan Pillai, sir.
Namaskaram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Amma, and my pranams to all others present at this moment. We are watching excellent performance and accomplishments from different centers of Amrita University. Thanks to the divine guidance, divine inspiration, and support of our beloved Amma. It is happy to note that most of the research projects undertaken by Amrita are compassion driven and society oriented. Amrita is imparting high quality education with compassion to students. I believe this is a unique feature of Amrita. And in a short span of time, Amrita has become one of the best universities in India. And it acquires fourth rank in the National Institutional Ranking Framework 2020. I wish Amrita to be one of the best universities in the world in the near future. This will be possible because of the divine guidance and inspiration of Amma. I congratulate all the teachers, students of Amrita University. Once again, my humble pranams to Amma.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Manisha Sudhir, Dean of International Programs, to come and give a quick overview of our international collaborations, and then we would hear from some of our international guests who are also waiting online. Dr. Manisha.
I will just give you a quick overview of the international collaboration. Over the years, from when the university started in 2003, over the years, we have signed more than 200 plus MOUs with world-renowned universities, with 800 universities from the Europe, more than 98 universities in the United States, with key universities like University of Oxford, University of Cambridge, which is ranked 3rd in the world, Stanford University ranked 4th in the world, and the Harvard University, which is ranked 7th in the world. In each of these universities, we were able to engage in different levels, from research to the academic, to also with respect to faculty and student exchange. You can see some of our key partners: UC Davis, TU Munich, UB, Penn State, Uppsala, University of Arizona, and Columbia universities, and several others are there. Next slide. We also have collaborations with Tel Aviv University, University of Twente, Aalto University, KTH, etc. Next slide. And these all have culminated to a network of collaborations with universities, industries, government organizations, and NGOs. Next slide, please. We have been successful in working in different international research with these partners in the water area. In the water area, we are able to bring in collaboration with TU Delft, University of Trento, and Tel Aviv University. In the energy area, the next slide, please. In the energy area, we have worked with TU Munich, KTH, etc., with even European Commission funded funding on FP7 program. In the education area, we are able to work together with University of Twente, TU Munich, and Central Nantes. In skill, we are able to work together with UNESCO, Stanford, UC San Diego, UNDF. The health, we were able to work with Stanford, Harvard, UC San Diego, TU Munich. Sanitation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, University of Gulf and McGill, and on the disaster area with the National Research Council of Italy, UK Met Office, Politecnico di Milano, King's College London, and British Geological Survey. These are some of the glimpses of the research which we were able to do with the different universities. All this has been possible because of the E7 framework of internationalization, which has been devised by our beloved Chancellor Amma, who has given us the motivation to take forward and the guidance to bring in the multi-dimensional, multi-scale, distributed, decentralized approach, where it will provide the opportunity to enable, engage, empower, enhance, experience, embrace, and encourage all the students and faculty to achieve academic excellence, research excellence, innovation excellence, and global impact. And this has acted as an accelerator, which helps us to bring in transdisciplinary research, joint publications, research partnerships, joint centers. On the academic side, on joint, double, and integrated programs, co-teaching and co-developing programs, advisory engagements, and innovation excellence into transnational innovation space, productization, and entrepreneurship collaboration. And in the global impact, bringing in frugal innovation, transdisciplinary research, and sustainable and scalable solutions, and research partnerships and network. All this has contributed to collaboratively work on global challenges. And in the last 5 years, we were able to come up with internationally co-authored publications with different universities at different continents. You are able to see each of the continent and what are the number of publications in each of the continents. You can see 43 publications from the Europe continent. You can also see the 29 from the Singapore area, Asian side, and 17 in the area, 17 from the African side, and also 33 from the US side. So all these partners have worked collaboratively with us in taking the research and the academic program into an excellent state. And I would like to thank each one of you who has helped us and guided us and worked together to achieve this. These are some of the partners who work together with us on taking forward the collaboration initiatives. And thank you, everybody. And I will hand over to Sumit.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha. As we just heard from her, Amrita has a rich collaborative framework to work with faculty and researchers across the globe. We would love to hear from some of them. They've been waiting online. We would like to invite Dr. Nava Subramaniam, Deputy Dean, Research and Innovation at the School of Accounting, Economics and Finance at Deakin University in Australia. Dr. Nava.
Thank you. Om Amriteshwari Namaha. My humble salutations and pranams to Amma. My warm greetings to Professor Venkat Rangan, VC of Amrita University, and also to all the honorable special guests, staff, and students who are present there today. It's a very bit of a mixed feeling. Thank you so much for this invitation, but it's like being invited to your home family, party. I'm very much honored, proud, and excited to be part of this event and review it and going through all the wonderful achievements of Amrita University. It's just made me stronger to collaborate further and to see more successes. This is my wish, and my heartfelt congratulations to all the staff of Amrita University who've done this stellar, absolutely stellar, noteworthy performance to date. I can only see Amrita University grow bigger and stronger, and I wish all the very best. I think we have Amma, as with Amma's support and Amma's inspiration and guidance, we can only be going forward much, and growing much larger. Thank you, Amma. Thank you so much for everything. I'm sure all the researchers today know that the inspiration comes beyond, and it is your force, it is your grace that makes each one of us strong and also successful. All the researchers today your force, it is your grace that makes each one of us strong and also successful.
മോളെ
Amma, Amma.
എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയാനുണ്ടോ കുട്ടിക്ക്?
Namashivaya, Dr. Navamma is asking if you have anything to tell us.
I'll be coming soon, Amma. But also, Amma, I just think that quality is very important. I know that the impactful research is very important. You inspire me at RMIT University. We are also investing presently a lot in sustainable development and the SDGs. So I'm very much looking forward to bringing about larger projects between the two universities as well. So I'll always be your instrument, Amma.
Next, we have Dr. Sydney Strauss, Emeritus Full Professor of Educational Psychology at Tel Aviv University, former Chief Scientist for the Israeli Ministry of Education. Dr. Sydney Strauss.
Yes, thank you very, very much. My humble greetings to Amma, our spiritual guide and inspiration. And my deep congratulations to the distinguished recipients of these prestigious awards. Amrita University is a university where it is not just lip service to talk about science in the service of humanity. It is the DNA of Amrita. I'd like to tell you something that happened to me today at 10 o'clock in the morning in Israel. I walked out to my balcony and waited to hear sirens, air raid sirens, that blare and wail for 2 minutes in commemoration of and in sadness about people who perished in the Holocaust. Today is the Holocaust Memorial Day. In this day, cars stop on highways anywhere. People get out of their cars and they stand at attention out of respect and in memory of all those who had undergone such absolutely horrific experiences, to say the least. As the sirens were wailing, and the wailing reminds us of human agony, and also, unfortunately, in Israel, wars. I was listening to Schubert's quintet in C major. Schubert is a German, just like the Nazis were German. And at the same time, the sirens are wailing and our hearts are wrenched. And I felt inspired by the pinnacle of cultural achievement in music, music that unites human beings across our planet. Science is neutral. Scientists, we try to understand nature, to explain it as best as we can. Science was used in the name of the Holocaust, and it was also part of the cultural achievements in so many areas. Science and engineering have created weapons of mass destruction, and the virus against the vaccines against the COVID pandemic to save lives. when it is combined, science and engineering is combined with compassion, as Amma told us, it produces extraordinary achievements for mankind. And we have to find ways to harness compassion with science and engineering to serve humanity in the ways that Amma has given us direction. Last thing, I was born in the United States. I've been living in Israel for 51 years, almost 52 years. And I've been connected with Amrita University and Amachi Labs and the Center for Women Empowerment and Gender Equality for approximately 5 years. Israel is my first home. India is my second home. My mother is my mother. Amma is my mother. And I feel deeply honored to be part of Amachi Labs with the wonderful work that's being done by Bhavani, who was mentioned correctly a number of times here. And for having met and been influenced by and inspired by Amma's love and compassion. So thank you all very, very much. It's a great honor.
Thank you, Dr. Strauss. We also have with us Dr. Jefferson Perry, Assistant Professor of Biochemistry at the University of California, Riverside. Over to you, sir.
Pranams, Amma, pranams to all. I just want to give my many congratulations to the awardees today. And I'd also like to congratulate all the faculty at Amrita on their remarkable achievements. I learned that some 500 faculty at the university have published in top-ranked journals in the last year, which I think is a tremendous achievement. So my affiliations are with the Biotechnology School, and they're led by Dr. Bipin Nair, and they go back to 2005 is when I started interacting. And so it's been wonderful to see both the school and the university grow, become highly productive with high impact research endeavors in a multitude of areas. So it's been such a joy to see. And I'd also like to add my congratulations to the faculty on their excellence in training of their students. I've seen these students progress and publish in very high level international peer-reviewed publications. And so it's also been a joy to see the students grow and rise up the academic ladder and achieve faculty positions of their own, including at Amrita. And I just had a comment. As a junior faculty member, I'm certainly not going to give any advice. And so my comment is that I've never seen anyone work as hard or be as dedicated as Amma. And so may we continue to be inspired by her to reach new heights in our research efforts. And I would like to say I miss everyone and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perry. We'd also like to invite Dr. Bharat Jairam, Professor in the Computer Science Department at the University of New York, the State University of New York at Buffalo. Dr. Jairam. Dr. Bharat. Dr. Bharat, you may be on mute.
The sound
Sorry, the sun is in my eyes over here.
Bharatman. Michael. Oh.
No, Shiva. I just want to say Namah Shivaya again to Amma and all of you. Amma, the enlightened, visionary, and benevolent Chancellor of the university, from whom all inspiration derives. Warm greetings to everyone at Amrita. I have followed with great interest the trajectory of the university from 2003 when Dr. Venkat was appointed as the Vice Chancellor, and have been astounded by the progress that the university has made to this day, being recognized as an institution of eminence by the government of India. That is no small feat, and it is possible only by the grace of Amma and her divine sankalpa. Very impressed to see the list of innovation laboratories that were presented. Now, the word eminence is not just for excellence in teaching, but also excellence in research. And my hearty congratulations to the faculty and researchers at the university who are being recognized today. I especially applaud the many faculty who may not be so distinguished, but who have made research a priority in the midst of undertaking and fulfilling their demanding teaching obligations. I know it is a great challenge for you to do both, but teaching and research go together, and so always give research a priority. I am also deeply inspired by the words of Dr. Panchanathan, the director of NSF, and also the other panelists. Take their words to heart. Research in service of society can inspire intellectual pursuit in your field at the same time to benefit society. Once again, my hearty congratulations to all the researchers at Amrita, and my pranams again at the lotus feet of Amma for making all of this possible. Om Namah Shivaya.
We would now like to invite Dr. Saptarshi Das. Dr. Das is an assistant professor of engineering, science and mechanics at the Pennsylvania State University. Dr. Das, over to you.
First, my sincere pranam and humble pranam to Amma. This is really a great opportunity, and thanks for the invitation. I think first I would like to give my congratulations to all the awardees. I mean, this is an excellent feat that they have achieved. I mean, Amrita University is doing world-class research, and the research that matters, I mean, because it helps a lot of underprivileged people in India as well as across India. And that is something that is truly inspiring to see that Amrita University has been doing such a wonderful and interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research. I think I personally have been very fortunate to be able to work with a lot of students from Amrita University in my lab. And I can see that, of course, these students have a lot of motivation, dedication, and hard working, but at the same time, they have great value. And this really shows that the guidance of Amma, the divine guidance of Amma in these students, and that make them really distinct from many other young researchers in the field. And I think I have been really privileged to be associated with Amrita University and get Amma's blessing. So with that, I would like to again congratulate all of you for your excellent achievements.
Namaskar, sir. Amma says she's very happy to see you and to
was-
hear your words.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you. Thank you. Your blessing.
Our Venerable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Venkat Rangan, to say a few words.
Om Amriteshwariya Namah. Pranams at Amma's lotus feet. So we got Amma's blessings live. I just wanted to say that to all the faculty and students who have gathered here today, it was Amma's idea that we reward and incentivize research. Amma has been giving the highest importance to research, creativity, innovation, papers, patents, PhDs, etc. And this will continue. So a very hearty thanks to Amma for encouraging all the faculty. A very hearty thanks to the faculty and students for living up to Amma's expectations. And Amma is looking forward to even higher achievements, contributions next year. Thank you very much.
Good evening, good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for staying on for such a long program. I just wanted to mention that I'm Dr. Krishna Shri, and I will be delivering the vote of thanks today. The single most reason why we are here celebrating innovation and research is because of the extreme inspiration and the visionary leadership of Amma. And there's actually no words we can really express to mention to really express our gratitude towards her. In fact, so many of us who did PhDs outside from various national and international universities, we've been trained very well to do intellectual research, but it is Amma that showed us that what true research really is. Research is not just about funding and publications, but really being our work being beneficial to the society, channeling our head and heart together to serve the society. Amma had also asked us to dedicate one day towards research every week. And these accomplishments that you saw today, and hundreds of them that are getting these awards at Amrita University, are a result of the constant endeavor that Amma has made to make us innovate and think about common man's problem. I would like to sincerely thank our chief guest of honor, Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan, sir. You're such an inspiration. I cannot believe you remembered the short meeting we had in Milan, but your inspiration personally and professionally to all of us, and being the director of NSF, which is the largest funding agency in the world. And I think the ability and in the fact that you joined us at wee hours of your morning just shows us, exemplifies your commitment to inspire the fire of research and innovation in all of us. And we will be definitely thinking over the acronym you mentioned, achieving meaningful research and innovation, technology development that Amrita really stands for. I hope your wish that we achieve this really comes true. I cannot thank enough Dr. Amitabh Kant, who also took time to send us this video message. We all know that his leadership in innovation and entrepreneurship has blossomed very much in this country, inspiring both the young and the energetic all across. Being at the helm of defense research, we were very happy to have the message from Dr. Satish Reddy, and we also know that nurturing critical ideas and getting tangible outcomes is something, and touching every citizen in India is something that you do day in and day out. And we thank you for your suggestions on really trying to achieve, and helping the country in all ways possible. Also leading one of the topmost countries in India is IIT Bombay, and we are grateful to have had with us Dr. Subhashish Chowdhury, and with whom we have worked, and many of our faculty have worked. And the feeling that we get while working with an elder brother is the relationship we have with you, sir, and IIT Bombay, and that has helped us significantly. We've always looked up to stalwarts like Dr. Suresh Subramani, Dr. Prashant Mahapatra, Dr. Venu Govindaraju, Dr. Mahadevan Pillai, Dr. Bharat Jairam, and others who have played many advisory roles to significant research initiatives at Amrita. We are very, very grateful for your continuous encouragement and support. I can also not thank enough Dr. Kristen Kuchin, Dr. Jeff Perry, Dr. Nava Subramaniam, Dr. Sydney Strauss, Dr. Saptarshi Das, Dr. Eric Blanco, all of whom and all the other international collaborators who have really worked hand in hand with us, complementing our efforts and giving it added value in our research activities. Finally, the day really belongs to all of those award winners at Amrita Vishavidyapeetham, the staff, the faculty, the students who work so hard to really live up to, as our Vice Chancellor said, Amma's vision and Amma's dream. Our hats off to all of you, and thank you very much for attending today's meeting. Om Amriteshwari Namaha. So we'll end with a short prayer. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you again. Namaskar.